Welcome to our Hangout, a podcast where three bearded film fans and an extra non-bearded film fans watch the best and worst horror movies of all time. My name is Luke Kondo over Kate. I'm joined by my regular co-host, Mr.
Ben Errington.
And our other regular co-host, Mr.
Andy Conduit Turner.
And pretty much at this point, a co-host, I think. I mean, how many times have you been on, Georgie?
Oh, yeah, probably 3, maybe 4 now, I think.
You are now as regularly on the show as I am.
I had to grow a beard. Yes.
Yeah. Georgie Broad, welcome.
Hi, thank you. Thank
Hello.
you for having me back.
Welcome back.
How's everybody doing?
Yeah.
Good.
Good times.
Georgie has just got back from holiday. I nearly said hollybobs then, but I stopped myself.
Good, thank you for stopping yourself from doing that. Yes, I have. And I flew back for this podcast. This was my motivation.
When you were queuing at customs, you said, let me through quicker because I've got a podcast to record. God damn it.
I was like, do you not know who I am and who I'm going to be recording with? Please.
I'm on a recording schedule tonight. If you could, please open another line. Come on.
Exactly. Immediately, if not sooner. Thank you very much, customs. So
there we go. And you went to Iceland, didn't you? How was that?
I did. It was incredible. It was really, really good. And obviously, being who I am as a person, I sought out as many kind of Icelandic ghost stories and folk stories and horror stories as I could. And they're messed up. I love it. It's so good. Oh, yeah, it's good stuff.
Can you share one with us?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of good headless horse stuff. I like headless horseman stuff. That sounds like The Godfather. That's different. But yeah, there's a lot of good stuff about haunted roads, and this woman falls in love with a deacon and he doesn't show up on Christmas Day to a family meal that he said he'd show up to, but it's because he fell in a river and died and his head fell off. Then he comes to collect her from her house and she's like, oh cool, my boyfriend's here. Gets on the horse. It's not her boyfriend. It's a ghost. It's a ghost on a horse. And then this ghost horseman takes her to the river and he's like, check out what's in the river. It's his dead body and the horse's dead body. So it's pretty creepy.
The horse
died too.
Dead body.
Yeah. Both of them.
Did the horse's head
Did the horse's head stay on? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the horse's head stayed on. The horse was called Floxy.
Because they're made of glue. Doesn't come off.
Yeah, so it was like
stay together.
Yeah, precisely. So that was a good one.
That's amazing.
Ghost horses are pretty cool, you know. That sounds like a pretty cool story. I feel like if my boyfriend was a ghost and he had a ghost horse, I'd enjoy that.
I'd be made up. Oh, I forgot to say he thought he pulled he thought that he pulled her arm off, right? Because she put her coat on wrong. So then he wanders around the graveyard waving a coat arm. That's his thing.
Silly Billy.
Billy.
I mean, if anything, that's like a bit humiliating. Why would you continue to commit to that? You just be like, you won't want to talk about it to anyone.
It's embarrassment on embarrassment. He was already late for dinner because he fell in a river so hard that he died.
Truly right.
Fell in a river so hard that he died.
So hard that he died with enough force for his head to fall off.
Yeah, Jesus. He must have. What happened there?
You get really cold.
A rock.
It's very snowy and rocky, so I'm guessing he just went and then.
Interesting.
Rest in peace.
What's his name? Deacon.
Iceland.
Rip the deacon, basically.
Rip
Deacon. I'll rip him.
Whoa,
you idiot for
Secret
dying.
Agent Rip Deacon. Not reporting for duty. He's dead.
Big deaders.
He's the big deaders.
Yeah.
What's your guys' favorite like Nordic horror movies? If I don't want to put you on the spot.
You just have.
What
about
original? Let the right one in, right?
Yeah, that's amazing.
God, yeah,
you picked the best choice now. There we go.
I was going to say Troll Hunter.
Yeah, that's the other best one.
I like the effects in that just because it seems legit. Does Midsummer count?
I'd say so.
Yeah. Why not?
I don't dislike Dead Snow.
Oh yeah, Dead Snow.
Dead Snow.
Dead Snow. Dead Snow. Yeah,
Dead
there's
Snow.
a sequel to that, right? Is there a sequel?
Yeah, Dead Snow 2, Red or Dead.
Is that what's called?
I think the zombies may also be Soviet on that time.
Dead.
Red versus Dead. So I guess it's Soviet zombies versus Nazi zombies this time around. The two worst kinds.
Yeah, truly.
What a matchup.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, let the right one is definitely
I think it's one of my favorite films of all time.
I think it is one of the films that we've given a unanimous A+ on this podcast, which doesn't happen very often.
I say Troll Hunter's up there for me as well as a sort of pure joy, fun film. I really, really like that one.
Yeah.
I think I went into
Troll
that
Hunter episode.
Yeah, there we go. We should. Horror news then. There's been a few things this week that have happened that I've had to make a note of because just so I didn't forget. But the Alien film franchise is going to be resurrected by Evil Dead director Fede Alvarez. That news came out this week that he's going to be writing and directing a brand new Alien movie. Ridley Scott's going to do a little bit of producing because he loves it.
Oh, yeah.
Project is described as an original standalone feature, which is a breath of fresh air. Oh wait, I'm just reading someone's opinion there. That's not the news. Also, wasn't there supposed to be like an Alien TV show, right? That's sort of standalone as well. There's
a Marvel comic series right now, right?
Okay.
Wasn't I might be completely making this up. Wasn't an alien in the Avengers? Like there was like an Avengers run where he had lots of people who you wouldn't expect to be in the event in like a dark version.
Oh, what
of
you
the
mean,
Avengers.
like a comic? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
I
Conan
think
was
'cause
in the
it's
Avengers.
I think because Marvel has the right for the comics now, you're probably going to see some alien appearances in there. I mean, this standalone news, Ben, is interesting enough, but now what happens to the rest of those space Jesuses? I guess they're all dead, didn't they? The robot got them.
They all got killed within one like 10-second sequence.
Yeah, Michael Fassbender got them, didn't he?
Yeah.
It's kind of so obviously Neil Blomkamp was going to be doing an Alien movie.
The one we
then
wanted.
he did the VR film instead.
Thank God for that we all loved. Then there was going to be like a Ridley Scott trilogy, wouldn't there? Prometheus, Alien Covenant, and then possibly another one. Alien
the third one.
Alien. Yeah. Alien : the third. For some reason, when you said colon, then I just thought of the word colon rather than the actual grammar thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what? So I'm guessing that's been canned as well. There's definitely no Ridley Scott third movie. He's gone. I'll do a bit of producing instead.
I guess so. So what is it? A TV show, and then there's Fede Alvarez, which although Texas Chainsaw obviously wasn't a knockout of the park, he didn't direct it. But I still have faith in Fede Alvarez after the Evil Dead remake. I still have faith.
Oh yeah. So Evil Dead and Don't Breathe. That's the only major films he's directed, right? I know he did loads of stuff.
The girl in the something. It was like the girl with the dragon tattoo sequel make.
Okay.
But
the one
so
with...
not the Nordic one, the Daniel Craig one.
Something about Spider's Web.
Well, they kind of did a remake boot sort of thing, and he made that one. I don't think it went down very well. Boot. Yeah.
No. Okay.
Yeah, well, but I like Fede. I like his style. Alien seems quite different to Evil Dead, but
it's quite a jump, isn't it? It's like a whole world with it's a whole universe of stuff, characters, and themes and everything. So, Girl in the Spider's Web, he did as well.
Yeah.
He only wrote Don't Breathe 2. He didn't direct it, which is probably a good sign.
Don't breathe 2. He's a goodie now, Colin.
Don't Breathe again.
It's fine. Yeah.
That's pretty much. Yeah. Has everybody seen Don't Breathe 2?
Don't Breathe 2, Colin. Ignore the artificial insemination stuff. Please root for this guy now.
Yeah. So it is
for a long title.
Man in Don't Breathe is definitely a wrong 'un in every sense. Man in Don't Breathe 2, he's a hero now.
He's a writer.
He's a writer.
He's troubled.
That stuff he did.
He's troubled, but yeah, he's been in a war. Come on, cut him some slack. Well, yeah,
free pass. Yeah.
we all make mistakes. We've all kidnapped the occasional person and tried to recreate your daughter with.
Who hasn't, right?
Yeah. Is there a scene where he gets out the baster and it's like all tense, and he just starts cooking everyone a meal?
Yeah, and it's like Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Well, everybody at the dinner table was like,
no,
not again. Oh no, luckily.
Oh, that's a new one, never used. Out the packet today.
Out the packet.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is just for basting This is just for basting your meats, not for anything else.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe that's what they're going to do with Alien. It's just going to be from the Xenomorph's point of view and say, look, all of these people that it laid eggs in and melted with acid blood, he's all right now, this Xenomorph.
Oh, but now now the Xenomorph's met an orphaned child and he's going to deal with some people who are trying to sell horrid drugs.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's pretty much it. Maybe that, yeah. I mean, I'm always hyped for new... Yeah, me too. I'm always hyped for new Alien content. I really enjoy some of the audiobooks that have been released over the last few years as well. That world is something that I feel like I could watch. It'd be good to see like a different sort of story told in that universe. I mean, I'm sure they won't go too far off the beaten track, but still.
Yeah. It's a wild world though. It's the Wild West for alien content. Aliens more loose with their IP than Garfield. They're all over the shop. They're like, you know, and I love some of the crossover stuff. I think some of the best stuff is like weird alien crossover stuff. Unapologetically love Superman versus Aliens. It's great. Yeah,
shit.
I'm there for it.
Looking forward to that. And also this week we got the confirmation that Michael B. Jordan will join Will Smith in a sequel to I Am Legend. Currently untitled. What could it be titled?
We are legends.
Legends.
We Are Legends. Oh God, you did it.
We Are Legends with
one.
an S and the S is a $0.
Yeah.
I Am Legends.
Yeah, I think I for that one. I am legends.
I am multiple legends.
legend.
It could be Horse Deacon, Rip Deacon. That's another legend he could be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
so-
it's all coming together.
I think they'll call it Millennium too.
Nice.
Welcome to
Millennium 2, Cole and Big Willie style.
obviously spoiler for I Am Legend here, but Will Smith definitely.
What?
Is he gonna Krasinski
God,
it and
oh
just give
God.
loads of flashbacks?
But there is a alternate ending where Will Smith doesn't, where he lives and he lives to watch Shrek again because he loves it.
Oh
Yeah.
man, I'm not sure if I can live with a world that is the amount of bullshit where we're expected to have the alternative DVD, the DVD extended extras ending as the one that we now believe is canon. He's either dead and he's a flashback or he's not.
Yeah, I think just
Yeah.
yeah. Either
You know what?
way,
I'm a Will Smith fan. Whatever he chooses to do, flashback, alternate take, whatever, I'm there for him.
yeah.
He wills himself back into existence so he can finally watch Shrek 3.
He wills himself back into the
Yeah.
He Will Smiths himself.
Yeah, and he comes back as an alternative version of Will Smith from cinema history, like the guy from Wild Wild West. What was his character's name?
Jim West, Desperado.
Jim West, Desperado. You
Jim
don't want
West.
none of.
You don't
All I
know none
remember
of
is
this.
none of
from that
this.
is the bit where he says, "Let's get
Buffalo.
some shot ass."
Oh yeah, of course. Oh yeah. Let's get some shut ass because he's looking at a lady's bottom and he can't get out of his head. So every sentence he says has got the word ass in it.
Classic.
comedy.
Happens to the best of us.
That
Classic
is
Will
comedy.
Smith banter.
All right. Let's
And
get some
the
shut
problem with-
ass. So-
Your Wild
Watch
Wild
that
West
again.
issue, he points out who you're going to call, not the GBs. No, you wouldn't call the Ghostbusters. They're not equipped to deal with giant mechanical spiders in the past. Absolutely, the GBs would not be who you'd call.
And all of their
The
technology that
GBs.
they rely upon has not been
It's
invented. yet.
not yet been invented. In fact, the baddie from Wild Wild West is probably the person best equipped to invent the Ghostbusters equipment. And Jim
Yeah.
West isn't going to be party to that.
Bloody hell. We should do an episode on I Am Legend because I think if we did,
It's like one of the
It's a-
highest grossing movies of all time, isn't it? I didn't know that until fairly recently. Like it did not just
Yeah.
well, but unreasonably well.
Really, really well.
wow,
Unreasonably well, Smith.
Is it, is
it's because it's got a
is
dog
I
in
Am
it.
Legend indirectly responsible for the Snyderverse?
I hate
Uh,
it.
Because it's got a Batman, like when he's in the abandoned
Oh
world.
yeah, of course it does.
It's
There's
got a Batman v Superman big poster up there, and that's what kicked
Oh,
it all
yeah.
off.
Yeah.
And that zombie's a robot.
I saw today, and that zombie's a bloody robot. I saw today that gas prices or petrol prices, you know, if you're English and you don't say stupid things, is apparently the petrol prices in the US are like the same now as they were inflated in I Am Legend to make it look like there's an apocalypse.
Oh, okay.
That's the real horror.
That's
Yeah.
a true horror, isn't it? Fossil fuels.
is that who are the real vampires in this society?
Yeah.
Those folks that hide in those buildings and do heavy breathing, then come out at night and try and eat a Will Smith. Or are
Do
they the people
heavy
that are
breathing.
setting
Will
the,
Smith.
or is it the people setting the petrol prices at the pumps? I know it's the
Come
real
on.
enemy of the people.
I know what I want the sequel to be about, at least. Michael B. Jordan, he works for Shell,
Yes, exactly.
and he's coming in and he's going, right. Yeah, there we go. There better be
Got
another
some-
dog in it.
I got some horror news,
Yeah. Ooh.
Have you?
Go on,
which
bit
is
horror
very
news
rare
then.
for me. Legendary studio Hammer Horror Studios is relaunching with a Dr. Jekyll movie starring Eddie Izzard. I think this will be like their first movie since Woman in Black, right? I don't think before that
shit.
it was somewhat old from the 70s.
Wow. What if Eddie Izzard as well, doing the Jekyll?
Yeah. Playing
That's
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Maybe, I don't know.
That
Mr.
Oh,
Hyde's the
okay.
bad one, right?
To be
Is
fair,
Mr.
that
Hyde the
sounds-
bad one?
Yeah,
That sounds
Mr.
pretty
Hyde's
cool.
the backer. That sounds
Yeah.
really cool.
It does sound cool, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm up for that. Let's
Yeah.
go. What's the last thing Eddie Izzard's been in, apart from doing
He does
Loads of
some-
marathons.
a load of marathons?
in a country, or he's going to like run for mayor of London at some point as well. He just loves running, but he was in some dramas, BBC dramas. He was in My Super Ex Girlfriend.
Wasn't it a bit of Hannibal? Have I misremembered that?
That sounds about right. And he was in Mystery Team. You know, this
Mystery Man, yeah. It was Mystery
He played
Man,
like a
wasn't it? Yeah.
disco
Yeah.
villain. Yeah.
Disco villain. Disco villain.
That's
Uh,
my new career aspiration. A disco villain.
Love to be a disco
Some kind
villain.
of disco villain. The only other piece
I
of
love
horror
Eddie Izzard. Sorry, go on.
well, I can't remember now. Your love of Eddie Izzard threw me off. No, mate. Apparently, there's going to be another Walking Dead spin-off series as well called Isle of the Dead.
3 more Walking Dead spin-offs.
Wow.
I think,
Okay.
unless they're just different posters.
So
for
the
the same
only one
show.
I'm talking about is the Isle of the Dead one, which is set in
yeah.
Manhattan, and I guess it's
Yeah.
kind of a spoiler, but it's starring Maggie and Negan as like the main characters. Is that what you thought?
I
Did you think that was a
hope
separate-
it's like I hope this is like a romantic comedy and it's like Isle of Dogs, which is like, oh, I love dogs. It's like
I
I
love
love the dead.
Yeah.
I
It's
love the
like-
Dead.
So it's about New York, which of course is the third character in the story, just the city of New York itself.
Oh yeah, of course.
And then it's about those two, maybe they're together to begin with, but then they both begin to love members of the dead. Really see a different side to the zombies in this time. Great.
How come
Prestige television.
Maggie and what's the? I mean, I've stopped watching it, but what's the relationship between Maggie and Negan? Because I remember the last thing I remember was that Negan smashed Glenn's skull into dust, and then Maggie was like, "I'm gonna fucking kill him."
They
But
turn
now
him
they're
into a goodie in the comic eventually because basically they fight worse people and it's like, ain't so bad. And he's a cool
He's-
character. So much
he's like-
like with comics overall, if you have like a character that's bad, turn him into sort of a goodie in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. I fall for it
poster-
every time.
This poster
Yeah,
looks
I
quite
think-
cool though. It's got like some big scary doors, and it says
Oh.
"Don't Dead Open Inside" on the front. Which
And dead open inside.
And Dead Open. Yeah.
Don't Dead.
Don't open, dead inside.
That's
Don't
how it
dead.
goes, I agree. Don't Dead Open Inside.
You basically get got while you're trying to unpick that sentence.
He's sitting there going,
Don't
Don't
dead.
Dead Open Inside, and then you get killed.
Yeah.
So
you
what we
can't
got?
decide whether it's going or not.
We got Fear the Walking Dead, Isle of the Dead. Is there something else?
Tales
Oh,
of
so
the
they're
Walking
build-
Dead.
Tales of the Walking Dead.
Yeah.
My
There might be
God.
something else as well, but this might just be a weird little fan poster thing.
Mm, okay. That's a
Yeah.
lot. That's a lot of Walking Dead. Is it still doing all right? Because I don't know. I love it when they describe Isle of the Dead will shamble onto AMC in 2023. Oh yeah.
"Sell
Who
it."
wrote that?
Yes.
Who wrote that? Who wrote
Someone's
that?
copywriters are making minimum wage.
Oh, yes.
Shamble. Can we shamble shuffle? No, it's more of a shamble. That's it for horror news. Has anybody seen anything of note this week? Or I guess, seeing as you've been on holiday, Georgie, have you seen anything recently at all that you'd like to discuss?
Latest horror thing I saw was obviously Scream. New
Mm.
Scream, which I'm sure has been spoken about extensively already, so I won't go too much into it. But I thought it was perfect. Wes would have loved it. I adored it. But horror-wise, not really lately. That was the latest thing.
Doesn't have to be horror.
Yeah.
Doesn't
You've seen
You've
a
got any
Walking
out-
Dead spin-off. If you've seen,
all 17, yeah. Do we have any anime enjoyers in the chat?
To a degree.
in theory, I do enjoy anime, but it's on the endless backlog of things I would like to watch, but never get round to.
I've
Yeah.
just been fully invested and consumed with the final season of Attack on Titan. It's the only thing that matters to me. I hadn't seen Mikey in like a week, so I phoned him up for an hour to tell him about like the latest fan fiction theories that were going on. It's been very all-consuming in my life. So just that, really.
Give me a quick crash
first couple
course
of seasons.
on Attack on Titan between you. So it's big naked giant men. Are they in space?
That's it. No.
They're not in space, no.
On Earth.
They're
Wow.
well, yeah, but they're in Europe-ish. It's very good. It's the best thing ever.
How many series are there? 7, do you say?
This is 4, which is the final one at the minute.
Okay.
But I think it's probably going to be a movie after it, like they did with Neon Genesis, but hopefully a bit better than some of the Neon Genesis films. But it means everything to me. It's the best. It's so good.
I would
should really
say
watch it.
if you're a
You
horror
should.
fan, the bits where the Titans like do horrible eating people stuff are genuinely terrifying.
It's
But
like
then-
some Cronenberg level body horror, like
Yeah.
the way they move, and it's very body horror based, like you said, the way they kind of shamble and lollop. But then, don't look at me, but there are some kind of hot ones, but that's fine. But like most of them are awkward and gross and shambly.
They're weird
Yeah.
looking, very weird looking,
Mm.
and hot.
I mean-
and hot. It's a
I
nudity, isn't
mean,
it?
Titan Eren, it is what it is. But like, yeah, it's very good.
Quite.
So how will the Titans? How do the Titans go about getting you? Will they chomble you up? Are they thumpers by nature?
kinda-
What do they?
Yeah, a massive man thumping you into the ground is quite.
How big
fun,
are
but-
they? How big are
Well,
these Titans?
some of them are
Titan
like
size.
the size of a caravan, like
This
a
is
big
it, they're
caravan.
a big one. There's different sizes. Like there's colossal ones, which is
Yeah.
pretty big. 15 meters, 15 meters, 8 meters. There's like different sizes and different ones.
Yeah, they chomp you. They
They chomp you all up.
eat you like a Kit Kat chunky. They
Down a
Drop you down a drain.
they eat you like a one of those gummies that have got juice inside.
Sorry, that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll
Delicious.
get on
It's
your
like the
family like they're a bag
sounds.
of round trees randoms, and they'll just
Oh yes.
Yeah.
they'll just hoe down on you.
Yeah.
I've been urged to
Yeah.
watch this show like a lot, so do you think I should finally give in?
Yes. Because then you'll meet my husband, Levi Ackerman, the only man I will ever love. So
Okay.
apart from like
I'm-
the 20 others. But...
more invested in this anime than I've ever been before. Georgie, you've turned me around. I'm going to watch it.
It's a good day. You should do it. Do it. We can talk about it. Hey.
On it. Where can we watch it?
Crunchyroll
on?
has all of it.
Crunchyroll, yeah.
I'm pretty sure I pay for Crunchyroll, so
If you do, on it. If
The
not,
state
you
of
can just-
society when you can't you don't even know what subscriptions you
no, I
have
don't.
anymore.
No, I don't. I think I like paid for it for a gift for my younger sister, who is big into anime, like all of it, all of the
You're going
anime
to pay for it
stuff.
for you might as well keep a password for
Yeah,
yourself.
so I might as well
Just
log
for
in
co-
and have a little look, in there.
just for quality control purposes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Make sure it's
Anything-
all right for her. Oh,
Anything
great.
else on the watch list this week at all? Has anybody seen the Batman yet?
No,
haven't
not
still.
yet.
Da
Need to
Batman.
set aside half a day.
No one here knows what it's like to be the Batman, apparently. But no, I'm still waiting. Maybe this weekend. Maybe.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, hopefully. I've been watching some of the. I don't know if we're going to talk about them yet, but some of the. Is this embargoed?
Yeah, we're in. Everything
Okay,
else the
all
three
right.
of us have been watching is embargoed to shit until next week.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I've been watching some stuff, but I've been playing a lot of Elden Ring because it's quite easy just to put it on for 10 minutes and then, well, I say 10 minutes and then like an hour's gone by. But it's very easy to dip in and out of. I don't know. It's just a very engrossing game. Ben, you like the Green Knight movie, right?
Yeah.
There are times where it feels kind of like playing a Green Knight game in the sense that it's just exploration around weird little ruins, and then you come across some giants walking in the distance. It is amazing. It is an amazing game. I'm not a big Dark Souls person in the past, but it's fantastic. It
does look good.
deserves all of the hype.
Have you fought the cat with a torch yet?
Yeah, he's like one of the first option. But first time I fought him, it was so hard.
Yeah,
it was so hard. I thought, I don't know if I can do this game, but I'm just not a Soulsborne sort of guy. But then you go and do other things, and you kind of level, like you just hit some goats that do roly polies for a bit, and then you find a weapon.
I didn't want to hit them. I
You don't
didn't
have
hit
to.
the roly
It's
poly
optional.
goats.
I don't think you have to hit anything. But
if I can do that, then I might actually win this game. Basically, my experience playing so far has been, I haven't had that much time to put into it. I probably played about an hour tops, but basically it is just a series of getting fucked up by things until I get frustrated. Yeah. It's like, oh, right, I got beaten up by that big Oren Knight, so I'm gonna go and deal with some nice weak zombies here. I can fight those. And I thought, I've killed a couple, and then literally a ghost bear materialized.
I know,
and just banished me to the shadow realm instantly.
There's there's a certain level of trolliness in terms of like the game designers are trying to kind of troll you and make you misstep, but it's part of the fun. And one of my favorite aspects has been the community aspect on top, where you find little meme messages left around that are telling you, jump, there's like diamonds, precious items ahead, and it's just you're on the edge of a cliff, and then you see all these bloodstains around, so tons of people have jumped off the edge. It's it's a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it.
I found the other messages quite frustrating when you say, I quite like there's treasure here, jump off the edge. They're fun little jokes, but then someone will write, please like this message. I'm like, dislike.
Oh, if you can hear screaming in the background of my audio, it's because Mikey is currently upstairs streaming Elden Ring. So, so that's what that is. But yeah, it does look very good. It does. Look
he all right up there?
Yeah,
that ghost bear is literally fucking him up upstairs.
Literally.
Yeah.
When I was away, someone texted me saying, "I can tell you're away because it's 3 a.m. and he's still streaming that game." I was like, right, okay. Can't be trusted by himself, right? Okay.
It texted,
Have you slept
go to bed. Yeah, literally.
I did see the Batman this week.
You did.
What do you think?
I did see the Batman. It's definitely one of those where I'm gonna have to think about it for a while until I can fully decide how I felt about it.
Okay.
It was long. It was 3 hours long. But it kind of felt like it needed to be. It feels like it's got like a mini series worth of content rather than a movie's worth of content. And there are these sort of narratives that dip in and out of each other. And
do you find out what happens to his parents, Ben? Because that's not really been covered in any media.
It's never been covered. Have you ever seen any pearls be clasped and then fall down to the ground and land in rain and blood? Have you ever seen that? Down a drain. If you ever seen it, we're going to see it again. No, you don't really. I mean, it's discussed, but I think the film kind of wants you to understand the origin of Batman already, which you probably should if you're big into it. It is like a sort of noir film. It's a weird sort of Gotham City because it almost looks like it's got the gothic element of like the Tim Burton Batmans, and it's just got that lived in sort of real city feel. It kind of feels like a cross between, I know a lot of it was shot in Glasgow, but it does feel like there's a lot of that gothic architecture, but then also it feels like New York. Whereas the movies in like The Dark Knight and sort of Nolan's movies was just Chicago, wasn't it? It was just essentially like that sort of city. This feels a lot more lived in.
Hot take for me, best Gotham City is, for me, maybe Batman Forever Gotham City, where there's like really big, grand,
massive
things, and then big question marks in the sky. Big neon ones.
There are definitely like some horror elements to it, like almost some of it's clearly very heavily influenced by like David Fincher movies, like Seven and Prisoners and Zodiac have all sort of been mentioned. And it is that sort of, the only thing I would say is that like the central mystery, again, I'm not spoiling anything, but I'll say that the central mystery I don't think is anything as interesting as any of those films. It almost feels like, but yeah, Robert Pattinson is great as this sort of like brooding, almost depressed Batman, But I wouldn't say anything else. I'll just say it's the coolest Batmobile you'll ever see.
Is
The
it the one from the
Batmobile-
trailers?
Yeah, but the Batmobile is like almost like a monster in its own right. You know, I like dark. Oh, I felt I don't want to spoil anything. Okay, you know how the Batman Begins really makes the most of the shadows as like a character in a sense, and it's like the shadows are used to sort of strike fear into the thing. The car is used in that sort of way, and it's pretty badass. But yeah,
Okay.
everyone's awesome. Zoe Kravitz is amazing.
Obviously.
Zoe
Yeah.
Kravitz is amazing.
Does
Zoe
Batman
Kravitz is
pump his
amazing.
tires up? in the
Zoe
Batmobile?
Kravitz. What was that?
Does Batman have to pump his tires up? Check the
Bloody hell,
fluids.
got a flat again. What's that? Yeah,
Pop
it's good.
50p in the machine.
I'd like to see it again. I don't think it's like my favorite version of Batman, but you know, I think you can like them all. I feel like I like them all for different reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
There's enough Batman.
George Clooney.
I
fan?
remember walking out of Batman and Robin as what, an 11-year-old possibly, and
Yeah.
thinking that was the greatest film I've ever seen in my life.
It's not.
I know you
It's
mean.
not. It's
I know
not
what
a
you mean.
great movie, but I just love those Mr. Freeze puns. Every time that we have the first frosty day of a winter, I take a picture of it, just the pavement with frost on it, or the window of a car. Text it to my friend Dan with the phrase "Nice to see you" every time.
I mean,
He
also,
loves it. He's blocked you now.
pretty sure fell in love with Poison Ivy a few times watching that film.
That's her shtick. She'll do that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that happens.
yeah.
But yeah, definitely watch it if you're a fan of, you know, anything Batman. I think
If you
anything
like,
Batman,
if you like a
you'll
Batman,
find something you like.
Yeah. If you see one Batman movie this year, make
If
sure
you
it's
see
the
one
Batman.
if you see a dark, gritty take on the Cape Crusader that you've never seen before, is this one dark and gritty? It's even more dark and gritty. All right,
Whoa.
I'm sold.
That's
I'm in.
good, you see. And I never got round to watching the Snyder cut, so I can watch the Batman. I'll have change. I'll basically have change that I can use for another activity. I'll be able to watch the Batman. And
mental, you've not seen the Schneider cut.
the Schneider cut, the Rob Schneider cut.
Rob
It's a
Schneider
completely
cut.
different
Rob
movie.
Schneider cat.
You can do it. No,
You can do it.
it's amazing that you haven't seen the Snyder cut because you're such like a JLA person.
I know.
JL Andy.
His
I
name.
just don't know where to find 4 hours.
Well, you're gonna watch Batman for 3 hours. That's only got one to JLA.
I can watch.
Just watch it in like.
I can watch 3. I can watch the Batman, and have an hour to do my taxes or whatever.
That's what Batman would have wanted. Yeah.
You should do
That
taxes. Otherwise, you're gonna get a punch in the face.
You're gonna get punched in the face until you're dead. But not
It's
dead.
fighting
Sorry, not
white
dead.
collar crime. Just goes around. Do your taxes. Make sure you declare everything correctly. Otherwise, I'm going to thump you.
He's a billionaire. He would not do that. He would
Yeah,
not
true. True. Yeah.
That's it for me. Has anyone else seen anything they'd like to mention, or is it just
Just a film of the week. Film du
Just
jour.
just
Paranormal.
the film of the week, which is Paranormal Activity? Funny, is it?
Okay. Well,
Serious. Toby does not fuck about.
No.
Come on.
It's a serious
not.
film.
Like
about-
Mika gets in all sorts of trouble for not taking Toby seriously. Let's give Tobes the respect he deserves.
Every time this character shouted Mika, I just kept going. I could be
can be
brown,
brown,
I could be blue, I could be brown.
yeah.
Which is a horrific song, unfortunately.
Amazing. It's an amazing song. Did you not watch all of the TikTok?
I was going to say TikTok ruined it in a big way. But
Oh, what?
yeah.
When people
I
were
think
just doing the
TikTok
higher,
made it.
higher octave.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Some nice harmonies there.
Didn't he
Ryan
also
Reynolds
do a
did one.
song?
Go on.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that drove me up the fucking.
It was
wall.
good, wasn't it?
Sorry. It was good, wasn't it? Didn't Mika also do a song like "Big Girls, You Are Beautiful"?
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Remember that?
He does
think
the one
so.
that has the exact same tune of "Just Died in Your Arms Tonight" by Cutting Crew.
Oh
Um,
yeah. Oh what? That is
Relax,
true.
take it easy.
Really?
get in
Oh my
trouble.
god. Yeah.
Sorry, I've ruined that song for you, Georgie. I'm afraid.
I mean, in my head, it's like.
Where
does
is
have to-
Mika?
He,
We
well,
need to find. We need to find him. Where is he?
I think
He's
he
been-
disappeared at the same time as like T4 wasn't on the air anymore. He's a very
T4's not on the air
T4 kind
anymore.
of person.
T4 on the beach is not on the air anymore. Fuck's sake. Yeah, good times, eh?
He's a very T4 kind of guy.
Sorry, I'll introduce the film. Apologies.
Okay, serious.
So,
Toby would like for Tobes.
Paranormal Activity is a 2007 American supernatural horror film produced, written, directed, photographed, and edited by Oren Peli. All right, did everything.
Yeah, I think he was. Sorry, go on.
It centers on a young
Do
couple,
you think?
Katie and Mika, who are haunted by a supernatural
can be
presence
brown.
in their home. And they set up a bloody camera to see what's haunting them.
There we go. An
Oren
obscenely
Peli.
low budget, right?
What are you going to say, Oren Peli? Super
I
low
think
budget.
he was like an IT support engineer person, and then he kind of made this film as a sort of project. I don't think he expected it to make $100 billion and launch a franchise.
So wasn't it £15,000?
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Sorry.
$15,000.
It was shot for, and then it was sold to Paramount, I think, for $200,000, and then it made like nearly $200 million.
Yeah.
Is that 200 million as a standalone, not from what it became as a franchise?
And it's just his box office for that film, so it looks like 200
So, okay,
million.
so basically, in the Queen's money here, about 10 grand.
Oh,
We took
it
the
was shot
budget
for
to
it.
make it.
I
Yeah.
thought you meant
Yeah.
the box office in Queens, buddy.
right.
10 grand.
yeah,
Translation.
she's
God,
just
we're not doing well with the
million.
exchange rates. Yeah.
Yeah, but like, so about £10,000 to make this movie.
Mhm.
Mm.
For whatever anyone else says about it, or any quality things you could throw at the film, what a return!
Oh,
You've
yeah.
done it.
Yeah, yeah.
I
You've
think
done it,
like
Oren.
proportion wise, it might even still be, if you look proportionally from what it cost to film and what it made, is one of the highest, like most profitable, isn't it? I think
Mm.
if you
I
look at it
think
kind
I've
of
heard that. Yeah.
yeah.
That is well done.
So,
Well
in terms
done,
of ratings and reviews, Rotten Tomatoes, critics gave it 83%. The users gave it a measly 57%.
Ooh.
IMDb average is 6.1 out of 10. It's not amazing. Letterboxd 2.9 out of 5. Wendy said the most horrifying thing in this movie is the audacity of Mika and all his antics. 5 stars. The idea of Mika and his antics.
Yeah, Mika has got some antics in this. He's got antics for days. What did you call him, Georgie? Mr. Red Flag.
Mr. Red Flag. He's a walking
Ah.
red flag. Yes.
Sounds like a Stephen King villain. And then Escalators said waste of human potential, 0.5 star. A
Okay.
waste of human potential.
Mr. Escalators is a waste of human potential. That's why.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's coming at you.
Wow.
I'm ready.
Coming hot.
I'm ready.
Mr. Escalators, get a better username, dude.
So is this the first time we've seen this film? Second time? Fourth, fifth?
I've seen it a couple of times before. So
I have a story on this one, but I want to pin Georgie down to this one in a second. One of the reasons I asked you to come on this
Yeah.
episode, especially Georgie, I heard you on your own podcast, The Valkyries, talk
Mhm.
about
Yeah.
a very traumatic experience that you had watching this movie.
Yes.
I've just watched it. I need to hear yours. But sorry, Ben, I dived in on you. You go. How have you watched it? But then Georgie
Oh
can.
no,
spill
I'm fine.
herself.
I know that Georgie's come on this podcast pretty much especially because of this moment. So
This is therapy.
We will. This is
Yeah.
therapy. Yeah. So Georgie, please let us know your experience with this movie.
It was a long time ago. It was literally when it first came out. And you know how everybody has their thing in horror that scares them. Some people really can't stand body horror. Some people can't stand zombies. For me, it's demons and demonic possession. That's my big ugh. So obviously they're the ones that I've seen the most of because they're the ones that scare me the most, right? So I watched it with my ex-boyfriend. Shout out, you're a knob. But like, and so we watched it. Obviously, it really terrified me. Go to bed. he thought it would be a really, really funny idea to get up in the middle of the night and do that thing where he just stands by the bed, like she does in the film, obviously, when she's being possessed
No
by
way.
Tobles. I just stands there, and kind of gives the bed a bit of a kick. So I wake up, I scream. His mother comes running in. And she's like, what's happened? I was screaming. I started crying, shaking violently because I thought that there was this demon there to possess me and kill me. And I've not watched it since. I love it. It's such a good film. So
You've not watched it since then?
no, because
You
it
should
scares
have-
me too much.
You should have thrown him across the room. You should have meeked him.
I should have meeked him. Yeah.
You've not watched it, like you've just avoided it. Has there been an opportunity to watch it at any point where you've just like gone, no, off, walk out the room?
Well, the upsetting thing is, I think it's a really, really good film, but everyone that I know seems to think it's a bit crap. I don't know why,
Yeah.
because I think it's a really good film. And I watched a couple of the sequels. I think they all kind of blur into one after a point, don't they? And I think I've watched it in dribs and drabs before, but it's been really hard for me to kind of nail someone down to watch it because everyone thinks it's not a good film. I don't know why. I think the sequels got to it. I think the sequels, if they'd have left it at one, I think it would have been a classic. But I think they just flogged a
It's-
dead
it's
horse.
In one of the
like-
sequels, the guy gets skateboard powers. He does like a sick grind.
Right?
On a rail.
Wait, what?
Which one's
Why
that
did we
one?
do that film?
It's like one of the latest. It's not the latest. I think it's the Ghost Dimension.
That's a sick
The
grind.
ghost.
The
oh, that's-
Ghost Dimension, yeah.
The Ghost Dimension
that.
is Xbox Connect. So it's Paranormal Activity, Paranormal Activity 2, the pool cleaner robot adventures,
Yeah.
Paranormal Activity 3, it's the 80s, don't you know, aka Teddy Ruxpin's Revenge, Paranormal Activity
Marked
Four.
ones. It's called the marked
sorry,
ones.
Paranormal Activity 4, then that is Xbox Connect. I think then it goes the marked ones, which is the one where it's in a completely different neighborhood. I think maybe it's
Yeah.
in Latin America, and then
Yeah.
the Monsters Inc. doors are there.
Yeah, and he does a
and
sick
then-
grind.
And then the Ghost
does-
Dimension he does a sick grind. And then the Ghost Dimension is the last one, which is where
Well, there's a new one as
guy,
well.
Toby's a
right?
guy now, and then there's the newest one that I haven't seen.
Next
the
of
newest
kin.
one, Next of Kin, is I think the only other one I've seen, and I don't know why I decided to just watch that.
The thing is about these movies, I think anything that leans this hard into verisimilitude in terms of like the found footage camera thing, Blair Witch, Paranormal Activity, it's just scary. They just are inherently scary. There's something about them that I just find creepy, even if nothing's really happening, even if the acting sometimes feels a bit like college A-level acting. So here's a scenario. You're mad about this. Mika's done something. Mika's done some antics. Get mad at him. But like even
What a
if
clown.
that happens, I still feel like it's just scary. I don't know. Just seeing a Ouija board and seeing something move on it, like it creeps me out a little bit.
Yeah.
I think found footage is just, I'm a sucker for found footage. Some of the best horror films are found footage. Like I said, Blair Witch, like Wreck, I would class, found footage.
Yeah.
Found footage is just always going to be scary. It's always going to be good.
So I was talking to my missus about this. So when I think about like decades, I know exactly what the 70s is into the horror. I know exactly what the 80s is. I know exactly what the 90s is. That's kind of slashers. Is found footage, are we saying that's like the noughties?
Yeah.
Or would it be more Dark
Yeah, I
Castle?
guess so. No, I think early noughties is like
Yeah.
the sort of Dark Castle stuff, but I think
That's-
mid
yeah.
noughties onwards is found
Yeah.
footage. Even
Yeah.
though I guess Blair Witch obviously.
And
it
then
all
the
started in-
teens would be like A24 horror, elevated
Yeah.
horror.
Elevated horror, aesthetic horror. Yeah.
Yeah.
For real. Elevated horror. Oh my God. Yeah. Defo.
I think, I mean, for found footage for me at least, I feel like there's only a few that really get it like really right. There's a lot of stuff that's kind of okay. Like I'm thinking, what's that? As above, so below.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, that's all right.
That's so good.
Do you remember Grave Encounters?
No
know
one's
that.
ever seen that when I ask about it, and it is such a good film. It's
That's
so
like-
good.
Yeah, that's like a found footage movie where it's like ghost hunters, but obviously they're not
Yeah.
really ghost hunters. They're like, oh, we're gonna set all this up, but then they go into a abandoned
Asylum, right?
Asylum, yeah, it's got to be in there.
Yeah.
I think that's maybe got a few sequels as well, possibly.
Yeah, there's definitely a second one. Oh, it's such a good film. Oh,
Yeah,
We've lost
that
Andy.
one. I guess Troll Hunter is a found footage movie as well, right?
Yeah.
With
It's just,
second mention.
yeah. I just like found footage films. I just find I can watch even the terrible ones. I can watch them and get some enjoyment out of it. There was
Yeah.
one about like ancient Egypt and some pyramid. I'll be honest, it wasn't very good, but I enjoyed it.
Oh, what was that?
I'm gonna make a name up. Sacrament, sure. It's called Sacrament.
Yeah.
Was it called Sacrament?
I don't know. It sounded convincing the way you said it.
As above, so below. Did you already touch on that? That's horrifying.
There's one just called The Pyramid.
Oh, that'd be it. It's not Sacrament.
Sacrament
Sacrament is a found footage film. That was the one that Vice made, and it was like a cult. Everyone drank poison Ribena film.
Poison Ribena. Yeah, we did mention As Above, So Below. We mentioned Wreck. I think Wreck 2 probably needs a shout as well because that's all right as well. Nothing wrong with that. So yeah,
I call Host a found footage film as well. If we're gonna go for like demonic possession kind of vibes. I thought that was decent. I thought that was really good.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
So it's a genre that has got like there are a lot of gems, but I feel like those are the ones that stick out. It's not like with found footage, I'm almost kind of like put off because I'm like, I've seen it all before. We've seen every trick in the book. We hear everybody saying, "What are you still holding that camera for? We've had enough."
Yeah,
which is
Cloverfield. Sorry,
Cloverfield. Yeah, like, that's obviously.
Yeah.
Why are you still holding that camera? It's like because it's a found footage film, right? Stop saying it. We suspend our disbelief with that. Don't worry about it. Whereas Mika obviously is just like obsessed with the camera. What do these guys do for work? I kept thinking because when it got to like day 18, I was like, "What are they doing? Just chilling in the house all day."
Pretty much. The woman is a student studying to be an English teacher, I think. Mika is in stocks. He has like.
He does talk about that a bit, doesn't he?
He has like a T-shirt that has like says like CoinNet or something like that. So he's a crypto guy.
Immediate red flag. I said it. Don't trust him. No.
Yeah.
Is that are you invested in what's it called? Dogecoin. Dogecoin. That's it. Is that even still a thing? Who knows? Maybe I'm years behind the other crypto. So he's doing that. I was like, is he a crypto guy? And I was like, is he a musician? But then he started playing guitar. I was like, no, he's not.
No, he's not.
Savage.
Sounds
what are you doing over there?
Invest in some burn cream.
He gets his guitar out and I can be brown. No, immediately.
I can be red. Just completely red.
That could be a red flag.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a bit of a wrong, and obviously we'll get into that. He's a bit coercive in ways, and just a bit of a dick. But we'll get into that. So
if Toby hadn't cancelled him, society would have if he'd survived a few more years.
Toby took the trash out for us, basically, is what you're saying. That's what happened there.
Also, who the hell sleeps with their door wide open like that?
Awful.
Yeah, I do.
I mean,
I don't like to close doors.
If this shit was going down there, you'd close the door.
It's because of the animals. It's because of the pets. Like they need to be able to run around and stuff. Yeah.
I've got like the door's not completely closed, but it's just closed enough so that no demons can hop in at any point. Yeah. But this is ridiculous. Like if this started happening, you would close the door.
Yeah.
Also, if this started happening, you wouldn't be able to. They go to sleep all the time as if it's like nothing.
Yeah.
But like I sleep, I make some weird noises. Sometimes things are hanging out that shouldn't be hanging out. It'd be embarrassing.
Yeah.
You know when you wake up as well, and there's like a shape in the room, or I mean that happens pretty much every night to me. I think there's always some sort of shadow.
Your house is possessed.
My house is possessed. Pile of clothes on the chair in the corner. Wake up. It's got arms and legs. It's sat there like that. It waves at you. Fuck! Turn the light on. Nothing.
Where's the deacon? No.
Where's the deacon? And like I'm not a cute sleeper. I'm not like a Disney princess sleeper. I'm like catching flies, arms like this. It would not be a cute view. 100% not. Mm-mm.
That's what we want to see in this movie. We want to see some serious
reality.
We want to see reality, guys. Come on. Yeah. So what is we've got pretty much two main characters. Katie Featherston as Katie and Micah Sloat. That's a horrible name, isn't As
Poor
as
guy.
Mika.
He's shitting
This poor guy.
guitar. He's got a dumb name.
You know when someone's like, he's not. I was
He's
just about
not
to
the
say he's not-
character. He is the actor.
No,
But
so
it's
maybe
a
he's
bit bad that like they named him that name. I had a good look to see if these guys had done anything else because I think they were maybe not Hollywood movie stars back then. But Mika's been in more of the Paranormal Activity films. I think that's the only thing I saw that was credited for. The other one, Katie, she's in a TV show of some sort at the minute, which is pretty cool.
What is it she's in? I've seen that she's in a TV show, but I've immediately blanked on what it is.
Yeah.
Big Little Lies.
Big Little Lies.
That's it.
Oh wait,
Oh.
Big Little Lies. It just says cameo, and then a
Oh.
TV show called The
Yeah.
River, which is an American found-footage supernatural adventure horror television series. Jesus
Oh,
Christ! all going on.
Typecast.
All the genres.
Typecast. This is found footage. Is that going to be all right for you? Is it?
Sign me up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sign me
Will
up.
I get to thump a boyfriend character? Yes, you will.
Does she thump Mika
Done.
in this?
Well, she kind of. Well, it depends what ending you see.
This is
Okay,
true. Yeah.
She kind of thumps him, but whilst holding him.
There are.
Sharp
Am I
stuff.
right in thinking that there are 2 additional alternate endings?
I'm a bit confused. I think they might just be. There was an original ending when they sold the film, when I
Yeah,
don't
there
think
was an
anything happened at the
alternate,
end, and then Blumhouse, Jason Blum, who, by the way, if you go on Rotten Tomatoes Paranormal Activity, the big poster bit where they normally have the film visuals, it's just a big picture of Jason Blum.
Sounds
So
about
he
right.
just like shoved his face right on there.
Ego.
Yeah,
IMDb. All these films. Get my face on the poster. All right. Come on.
yeah.
That's what everyone wants. What everyone needs. So this is like, I guess, do we say this kind of like spurned? Obviously, it spurned a lot of sequels, but it was kind of involved in the inspiration for a lot of these sort of films. You know, so things like Insidious and Conjuring came after as well, right? Didn't they?
They did. I seem to remember seeing Oren Peli's name as a producer in a lot of those films.
Okay.
So Insidious 5 is, I'm just going through the recent ones. All the Insidious films he's been a producer of. And Paranormal Activity. Most of the Chernobyl Diaries, that was found footage.
Yeah, I've seen
thing, I
that.
think.
That's all right as well, I think.
He's got
When-
12 writing credits.
Georgie, when you said about this film's kind of like been condemned by like because the franchise as a whole is not particularly good, the original has been sort of like tarred with the same brush, I guess. You find that with a lot of stuff now. Like I think Insidious was thought of as being all right.
Yeah,
And
I
then-
mean, I can't believe there's 5. Like you just said 5.
Yeah.
I switched off after 1. 1 was all right. It was fine. Same with
I
The
liked 1.
Conjuring. Yeah, the
Yeah.
1 was good, wasn't it? The Conjuring I thought
Yeah.
was fine.
I think the
And the
Conjuring's
rest-
done a little bit better, where the other
Yeah.
movies aren't. They're not like whoa. There's not the drop in quality isn't so ridiculous.
It's
Yeah.
not a nosedive. Yeah.
It's not a nosedive.
Lee Winnell made Insidious 4. I think he wrote and directed number 4, and then he did Upgrade, and then which wasn't a bit of an upgrade, and then he did what's that
Invisible
one?
Man.
Invisible Man. Yeah.
Invisible Man, yes. Good old
The
man.
Invisible Man.
Invisible Man. That's got some good scares in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fantastic, that film actually. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think with this one again, there's so many times I think, especially in stuff like horror franchises, where you have an original, and if you'd have just left it, if you'd have just let it be, it would have been great. But then it kind of becomes the sum of its parts, and then there's so many bad parts that it kind of cheapens it and makes it less great.
It's weird, but it's also
Mm.
like kind of amazing that horror as a genre does this thing where a film becomes successful and it creates a whole movement of like cinema essentially.
Yeah.
I can't really think of any other genres that kind of do that, but as regularly as horror
Yeah.
does, whereas regularly like you'd say like what every 6-7 years it kind of creates a new movement, and then every film for the next few years is kind of trying to replicate
I
that.
think it's because horror
Yeah.
does such a lot of work to create like techniques or feelings that then you can slap onto other themes or other characters or other setups while trying to create that same feeling that you get from the movie. And I think horror builds itself into parody and iteration quite well as well. Like I've seen I'm not sure if it's one of the Asylum direct copies of this or whether it's just something that was earnestly trying to do something. I've seen a Paranormal Activity clone in which Dick Van Dyke's grandson, it's definitely a Van Dyke, the ghost, he lives at the end, but the ghost frames him for murder.
Yeah.
Shit ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, but as well as being, sorry, Andy, didn't know if we finished.
No, all done.
I was just going to say, as well as sort of inspiring like all these films, it also inspiring. It also like creates a lot of these tropes that get really overdone. And how many times have you seen someone's face close to a camera suddenly goes a bit creepy and scary, and then
wibbly wobbly.
Gets me every time though.
It's the noise though, isn't it? It's I've definitely discussed this before in terms of the jump scare. It's the noise as much as it is the visual of it.
Yeah.
I think with that, after this movie came out, there was like loads of tutorials on YouTube how to do it in After Effects, and then people on YouTube were doing it. It's not difficult to do at all.
They could do it for less than £10,000. They can do it. They can do it for like a £30 filter that you've bought. I think when it comes down to this as well, you talk about tropes and everything like this. I made a note of it as we're going through this. How at this point, like beyond 2007, maybe by 2010, are we at now any point surprised when someone says it's you that's haunted, not the house? At this point, I would be more surprised if the house was haunted.
It's the house, get out of there.
Yeah, move. Has anyone?
Your right shoe that's haunted.
You think it's that common thing where it's the person that's haunted and the ghosts are following you back? No. It's just the housemate. Move.
Just your nipples.
And yet, every single time the fella still goes, honey, it's all in your head. It's not, everything's fine. I'll do every time. Just listen to your wife when she says something's haunted.
But the thing is now when like Kat says, did you hear that noise upstairs? That it's definitely a ghost.
You move every time. 8 moves in the last 2 years.
Expensive.
You immediately move. I'm just too lazy, I think. Like when it comes, if I hear a noise now, I'm like, this bed
if it's a ghost, can't bothered.
If it's a ghost, it's a ghost. It's gonna fuck us up either way. If I'm up or if I'm in bed all toasty.
Yeah. If I'm gonna go, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna go comfortable.
Also, ghosts can't get you. I don't know why they didn't do this. If you put the covers over your head, nothing can get you.
No,
it's
like the ultimate force field.
Yeah, but these guys are like sleeping with their feet out. We all know that like when you got your foot out, the demons definitely
suck them.
Go
suck your toes.
Worse than death, actually. I think I would argue.
Sure, that's from something. Is that from Drag Me to Hell or something? I don't know. I feel like I've seen that where they've looked down and seen a ghost sucking their toes.
Oh,
feels maybe in like a movie.
There's a meme, or a meme format. When someone says monsters will eat your feet if you leave them off the edge of the bed, and then there's some guy leaving his ass over the edge of the over the edge of the mattress, and you're like, yeah, fair enough.
It's like, all right, you gotta do what you gotta do, bro.
That's the next Paranormal Activity, I think.
Yeah.
The ghost.
Rimmed by a demon. Bloody hell, Toby.
Colon.
For Toby that he's
Actual colon.
Contractually obliged. It's like, oh no, he's got me.
He's really got me, though.
Oh.
Toby, you dirty boy. Turn the camera off. No. Yeah, so I mean the setup is like super simple, isn't it? So there's a couple living in San Diego. It's 2006, isn't it? So I think it says that. Look, it's 2006. So when you see people's mobile phones, don't judge. It's a technology of the time. And they're well aware that like dodgy stuff has happened in the house, right? Are they also aware that they think it's something that's been haunting Katie for years?
Yeah, it comes up pretty quickly. And it begins that he's bought that camera, which is why it throws away that he's bought a professional grade camera with a tripod and a thing, not just like a Sony Handycam.
Yeah.
He's like, I've bought a big Steadicam that I can do professional grade filming with, and I'm going to record all the spookums that happen in our house.
I don't reckon he's got any intention to record any spookums.
Oh yeah, Mika is trying
a
to
voyeur.
angle for a sex tape within the first 10 minutes of the movie.
Genuinely, yes. Ugh.
And Kate is not into it. She's like, what happened to the little handy cam? That's much more maneuverable. Maneuverable. Come on. Yeah, she's not into it. What's she driving? Like a convertible? Pulls up. They're making a little bit of bunts. These guys, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
he's a crypto trader in 2006. He's having a great
He's all
time.
over. He's ahead of the
Mika
curve.
was the blueprint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess it's just these initial moments are like establishing the characters, establishing their relationship.
Well, I think so. These found footage films, the way they tend to work is you've got to make it feel as real as possible, which actually translates to making it as boring as possible for a while, just to sort of make it feel like you're actually watching real home movies. So just lots of conversations with each other, bit of flirting.
Bit of asking for a striptease, saying, "Oh, I just really like your feet, Mika. Stop, please."
Yeah.
Mika's got the raging horn at every turn.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I just really find it super attractive when you're knitting and you've got your feet out. Mika, stop. You spend too much time working from home on the internet by yourself, please. You've become too niche.
Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. Yeah.
It's a little bit inappropriate, isn't it? I guess it's one of those things as well. Like when you feel with this found footage, you feel like you're looking in on somebody's real relationship. It does feel a bit wrong, a bit odd. Like, am I supposed to be seeing this? It's a bit.
Immediately you get the feeling that there is this real woman, Kate, who has a boyfriend you don't very much.
You just got Ghost mentioned again, Andy.
Oh no. Toby is absolutely. I think Toby's Toby's up in my attic, not with burnt childhood pictures, having a fucking LAN party by the sound of things.
LAN party.
LAN party.
With all his mates.
He's got his mates around there. They're playing Halo. They're playing Halo 2. They are absolutely. They're on GameSpy. They're hosting a server. And he's
burnt childhood pictures. What's that you got there? It's just one of my childhood pictures. Is it burnt?
The lighter,
right? It is. I've not seen it since the house fire.
Now, excuse me, I will not be using a wired connection for this LAN party. I am Wi-Fi 100%.
Yeah.
Don't care if you're recording over Zoom. I'm busy. Me, Toby, LAN party host extraordinaire.
Wow. So yeah, obviously the haunty bits start like really simple to start with. Obviously we've just got some
like a door moves.
A door moves a little bit. Yeah, some banging. When does Dr. Friedrichs get involved? He turns up
after the second day. So as soon as we've learned that Mika is a crypto guy, the psychics come in the next day, and for someone who bought a camera to support investigating the haunting of his girlfriend, he's immediately dismissive. He's like, "Oh, got some music to play for when the psychic arrives," like his entrance music, like he's a wrestler. He plays like an Exorcist theme.
Doesn't the psychic guy says, "Look, don't muck about with this because unless you got a demonologist, don't be coming at me because that's what you should do."
Yeah, but he said so. He said it's not a ghost; it's a demon. Also, don't communicate with it because as soon as you open the channel of communication, that kind of makes it stronger. Exactly. When did we find out his name's Toby?
I don't know if we do we?
Is it this movie or is it another one where
Did you make this up,
Toby?
Andy? I'm going to ask one time. Did you make this up?
I think it is another one. I think I've been having a little look at that Wikipedia page about Toby, and I think he only gets named in Paranormal Activity 3 because it says male, most likely, in brackets, born unknown, age ancient.
Oh,
so it says
evil.
Profession to manipulate children into giving him a human body.
Is that a profession? It's more
It's
a
his
vocation.
profession, apparently.
Profession. What do you do for a living? Sales.
Well,
sales. Admin, admin. What are you doing over there? Just manipulating some kids to give me a human body. That's my job. 8 hours a day. 8 hours a day. Pay, benefits.
Apparently, Bloody Mary is his ally.
Bloody Mary's his ally. If you're gonna like ally of anybody, and he's got a friend called Christy as well.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got a little group, little buddies.
The Candyman is on his LinkedIn, but they're not actually ever met in real life.
Yeah.
They're like
Twitter friends with Pazuzu.
It's just an acquaintance. That's all.
Apparently there's a Paranormal Activity Tokyo Night. Is that
Tokyo Drift?
there is a Tokyo Drift. There's an official Japanese sequel to Paranormal Activity.
No way.
More spin-offs than The Walking Dead over here.
Steady on now.
Vin Diesel in it. So yeah, obviously the haunting, the ghostly, scary things happen. It's just like noises, flickering lights. There's like shadows. It's definitely one of those films where you're constantly looking in those little dark corners to see what's going on, especially as it's like a grainy. He leaves the camera on all night.
It's usually the bedtime bits where you see the bedroom, it fast forwards, and then when it stops fast forwarding, you know something is about to happen. So like you're focusing in, get your magnifying glass out. What am I looking at?
Whatever, and there's not in these initial stages,
and nothing happens.
Much. There's maybe some like shadow. I think there's some shadows, some tricks of the light where you kind of think, what's that over there?
Yeah.
I think the mattress maybe comes like, does the mattress get pulled a little bit off of
like the duvet kind of the mattress. Toby's hench. Like the duvet gets Houdini. Like the duvet and the blankets get like moved a little bit to expose her feet, which is probably Mika being a perv.
Toby curls up on the bottom of the bed.
He's trying to get that footage for his personal archives on his endless hard drives. He's storing all of this data on.
Oh, grim.
Yeah.
But you do, don't you? You like properly examine when it pauses every bit of negative space, every shadow, every kind of area that they're not. I think it's very good at making you constantly dubious. I think you've got, I think, the whole way through that sense of anxiety, low level simmering, just like on tenterhooks.
It builds so effectively, and I think my background here on the video is the scenes in the audience in a cinema. I think it does generate that in a cinema when you've got a room full of people watching it.
What bit are they watching, do you think, on the video? Like on the video, Andy's background is the audience watching, the audience reaction to the film, and everyone's absolutely terrified. It looks like it's like
It's Mika playing guitar, isn't there?
That's why she's covering her ears. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. This guy sucks. Tone deaf.
It's also great because they're all dressed very 2006 as well, which is even better.
You got some bangs for days over here in this.
So the films don't really use this marketing technique anymore, do they? So there was a period of time
because everyone was coming out saying that was shit.
yeah. You remember that though, when they used to interview people, didn't they, when they were leaving? Like, it's the scariest film I've ever seen.
Yeah, they interviewed Idris Elba. There's a video of Idris Elba being interviewed. It's like he went to see the first Daniel Craig, I think it's Casino Royale, and he's talking about how good Daniel Craig was as a James Bond. Yeah, he's all right. He's all right.
I thought you were going to say it was a horror film. He came out from Casino Royale and he was like, "Shit, terrified."
Boy. Just smashed him in the ghoulies with that rope. Didn't like that bit.
That was horrible, that bit, wasn't it? Yeah. But yeah, so that obviously films don't really get marketed like that anymore. But there was a period of time where I suppose the knock-on effect from that is that films do still get marketed as it's the scariest film you'll ever see. You won't sleep tonight. You'll scream until you shit your pants, literally.
So none of those things are anything to do with the film. Have you watched the news?
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel there is still a few films that get marketed like this, but it's always exclusively like Hop 3, Easter on Parade, or something like that, and it's like, oh, I really liked it. It was a pretty good film about a bunny rabbit. It was like you don't get it in the horror sense anymore. Now it's just claims that this is the scariest film you'll see this year in January.
In January 12th,
the scariest movie this year. We're going hard on this.
Do you guys do that thing where you watch like YouTube clips of like audience reactions to like the Spider-Man movie or Avengers reveals and stuff, where you see, I don't know, someone's just filmed themselves cheering their heads off and stuff.
Yeah.
I like to watch it. I like to see people's reactions to stuff.
I film
there-
reaction videos to those videos of me shushing them.
There's like a quite a niche TikTok trend at the moment where people are
I know the
are,
one you mean.
are
I already
editing
know.
are editing like really mundane moments or random moments from films and like having the audience reaction play over the top of it. So
Yeah.
like I can't even think of an example, but it's just something really mundane.
Yeah.
Like when a character turns up in this and it's like everyone going, "Oh my god, yeah, woo, is that him?" Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Like, because there's this whole debate, isn't there, at the minute of like American versus UK movie theaters? Because everyone says, oh, in American movie theaters, everyone's so much more vocal in the crowd. There's these huge crowd reactions. That doesn't happen in the UK. If I'm in the cinema in the UK, it will happen. Let me just put that right out there. I almost, had an aneurysm when I saw Matt Murdock in spoilers
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Nowhere, and I was and it got worse from there, and I was crying and I was like a mess. And I think I'm one of those people, if I want to feel something, I will go and watch those things on TikTok of people like cheering
Yeah.
and reacting to Spider-Man or Endgame. And I just think it's really, really, really cool to be in a cinema on opening night. I'll take opening week for a big Marvel film or something like that. But on a couple of opening days, maybe, where you've got that real sense of people who are so invested in something that they want to kind of have that joy and that atmosphere of kind of inclusion. A couple of weeks after, it's like, all right, calm down, you've had your chance. But I think there's something quite nice about being in a room full of people who are reacting at the same time as you. I don't know if that's just me.
It is nice. It doesn't happen very often
Yeah.
anymore. Just
I
for
think
Marvel film, but exclusively.
Yeah, I can't remember the last horror film it happened in.
Hmm.
Me.
Jackass 4 was
Yeah,
pretty
that
much
was quite
like
good.
that,
Yeah,
because
that was
everyone
good,
was looking
yeah.
around at each other pretty much going like, can't believe they done that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would have loved to have been in the premiere screening of *Malignant*.
Yeah. We were pretty early on, but there's no one in the cinema.
Yeah,
It
the
wasn't
only
very
the only
busy.
reaction, I think I mentioned this on the episode, but the only reaction I got from this was a guy sat in front of us, and as soon as the credits rolled, he just turned around and said, "Well, that was shit." As if he, and I think I mentioned before, as if he wanted me to stand up and go, "You brave man, telling us what you feel. Well
Yeah.
done."
And that's why they don't
Get a
interview people
podcast.
after the films anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why do you look at me now? That's what I thought. Like, what the fuck? I don't know who you are.
He
Why
saw
looking at me?
you copy the horror podcaster Ben Errington at the cinema,
Yeah.
and he thought,
You wanted to guest.
Yeah.
Guess
That was
what?
shit.
Let's
That
go.
was shit. What did you think? Come on,
"That's it."
oh.
It's like,
Old man.
yeah, D+, Ben. That's my rating.
Hmm.
It's escalators. He's there. I'll be posting a review about this.
What a waste of human potential.
Escalators.
He's back.
So yeah, in this film, there's one of the first big scares, I guess, is there's like a proper horrible, demonic, screechy, grunty noise that is followed by like a big bang downstairs, and that was pretty.
Oh yeah, because you don't
intense.
find out what it was that banged. I'd
No.
be looking at everything.
Chandelier's rocking a bit.
Chandelier's shaking,
Yeah.
yeah. So it looks like, so obviously like something's gone down.
He's been swinging around on that.
I
Upside
can
down.
hear it now. I can hear it now after you just said that. And I think that is one of the things.
Is it like that? Is it like
I
It's-
don't
it's
like
pretty
it.
horrific.
Yeah. It's a lot. And I
it
think
reminded? So we reviewed the Amityville Horror like a couple of weeks ago, and there's a moment in that where a voice says, "Get out!" Pretty much like that.
like
And
a
it
little
remind-
opera singer, a Pavarotti.
Get out!
It's the go compare guy.
He sees you on Compare the Meerkat and he's just losing his
Yeah.
shit.
Good.
Get off that website. And it reminded me of that, going from like a fairly quiet moment where you're not sure what's going to happen to suddenly this big booming voice. It is pretty effective as a scare, I think.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Yeah. So but
I-
Mika's reaction is like, we don't need anyone to help us with this demon.
Yeah.
I'm the boyfriend. I provide the finances based on my NFT sales, and I'm gonna fight the demon. I'm gonna
what's he
beat the
doing?
demon. Yeah,
He's
but he
literally
doesn't.
doing nothing.
He's doing shit all.
He, gets,
putting his
he does
camera
the
on.
exact opposite thing. He gets the Ouija board.
He's been told not to do it. He's been told.
Yeah, but Mika knows best.
Oh, honestly.
That's like a great sitcom. Mika knows
Mika
best.
knows best. Oh, yeah.
The one with the
He'll-
Ouija board.
He'll get that sex tape.
If it kills him, and it does.
And it does.
Yeah.
So when he brings the Ouija board home, he like leaves it in the room, doesn't he? And there's
Yeah.
Well, they get to an
which is-
argument. Case like, get out.
Yeah.
I
Just
don't know where
say,
they go.
Just-
Get out. Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't I specifically tell you? And then the psychic guy also came and said, don't antagonize it. And then you promised not to antagonize it. And then
He
you've
said,
got a Ouija
"I
board.
won't."
And
Yeah.
he's sitting there in the living room like a kid who's made like a George's Marvelous Medicine in the kitchen sink and expects his mom.
Oh,
And
that's
the
how he
kid-
calls it.
and the kid's mum, and you know when he says like that, your mum's going to be furious, but he's got some sort of foolish hope that she's going to be like, good
Oh.
for you.
Yeah.
So he's walking there with a big shit-eating grin on his face at the kitchen, on the little coffee table with the Ouija board, and said the opposite thing to what you said we should do, and then he looks really surprised that she's livid.
Yeah.
He's like the
so.
embodiment of like a Reddit "Am I the asshole?" Like, my girlfriend's mad at me because I brought in a Ouija board to her house after she asked me not to. Am I the asshole? Yes, Mika, always. Literally always.
Always, Mika.
Always.
Yeah.
Make it, you twat. So when they leave the house, don't they? And then
Yeah.
we see like the pointer on the Ouija board doing something, make some sort of message, and then it spontaneously catches fire.
I like that we never quite find out what it says. Maybe we do in later films, I don't know. But I like that other films would be like, it was saying, I am the demon, Pazuzu.
Toby. Yeah.
Like it'd be like something that I know to research that. But I like how it just leaves that up to our own imagination.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, I guess it does that with a lot of the things that happen in this movie aren't like expressively or specifically explained. They're kind of left up to your understanding of the events.
Yeah.
So what happens? They come home and they find the message, and it's just they can't work out what it says, can they? It just looks like
Yeah, they just find it
Like-
burned, don't they? I think.
Yeah,
It's
he's
not,
been
Yeah.
he's been burning it up, and he's maybe drawn. Like, I had to look this up, and Reddit users like Mika have posted and said that maybe it's written 666 on there, or maybe it's written a name. And I think Mika does theorize in a scene that follows that has it got a name, and he manages to kind of look it up to say, oh, there's
Naomi or something.
like a someone who was possessed and knew, but it's never confirmed whether that was correct or not. It's just another theory that he has. I don't remember the sequels well enough to say if that is Chekhov's name, and it's a name that pays off years later.
Anton.
Yeah.
Anton. Is
Yeah.
her standing at the end of the bed, a la Georgie's ex-boyfriend style? Is that like one of the bits that happens next? Is that around about now?
I think
It's
so.
Yeah, it's around Ouija board time. Yeah, she
I
stands
just
at
kept
the end of the
thinking.
bed.
I kept thinking when in the making of this, did she actually do that? I mean, probably
What?
not.
Oh,
but-
stand up for like that long.
Yeah.
I reckon she had to stand up for like about 10 minutes.
And then they just
And-
fast forwarded it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been that man from Speeds. We've been Dustin Hoffman.
yeah.
But-
Just stood still to
The
loop the
little
video.
frame. Do the bloody video. Ah!
We're there going, she stood there for hours. Then a handbag appears on the floor, and it's like,
Yeah.
shit, blow up the bus.
Blow it up fast, fucking hell. Yeah, so that kind of happened. I think I would wake up if somebody was
I-
stood.
You do.
Well,
Yeah.
you've literally got
You do.
first-hand experience.
Oh, it's just something so creepy about it. I think it's always the way, isn't it? You always feel more vulnerable at nighttime because it's dark. You're in your Jimmy jams. You're not in your fighting gear. You're asleep. You're not fully conscious. You're not with
You're
it.
not. I sleep in my fighting gear.
This-
Karate gear.
My
Piss
birthday
taking-
suit is my fighting gear, all right? That's how I like to go.
Like,
Intimidate people.
That's it. Piss taken aside, I do sleep with a katana next to my bed, but that's a whole other story. seriously, I do.
It's in case you need to stab up any Tobies that come in.
and I keep it unsheathed just in case. But
What about
I'm
a katana?
Yay! but I, but I just, it's just so creepy, and I just think that you can feel I hate you, Ben. You can feel someone's eyes on you, can't you?
Yeah,
Like, you know,
yeah.
if you're being watched. And I think to wake up, and it's like you said, seeing that pile of clothes with the arms, the sleep paralysis laundry pile, it's just it's horrible. It's horrific. I hate it so much. It's so scary.
You can tell someone's looking at you, because, like in school when you look around, you're like, someone's looking at me, and so you see someone,
And they're just like,
what are you fucking looking at?
It's even
It's
more
already
effective.
staring at you.
If you're going to do that at something like school, it's even more effective if you really pull out the big guns and you spyglass them. So you look at them like this.
oh.
Spyglass them.
Yeah, you spyglass them, or you can double spyglass. I'm looking at you right now, Ben. But you can feel that from across the internet.
Oh God.
The intimidation is real, truly.
For you there, Georgie, I think having experienced this live, and you know that people, if someone was stand at the edge of your bed, you would probably wake up. And I know it was a traumatic experience for you now. I put it to you, we have the ultimate opportunity for revenge now. If you now, 15 years later, were to go and break into your old boyfriend's house and do that, I wager he would be more afraid than you were on that evening.
Rightly so, with katana in hand. That's a threat.
Yeah,
No, legal
katana.
reasons. That's a joke. But yeah, no, I
Allegedly.
yeah, but this is it, right? Exactly. It's just there's something inherently terrifying about. But I suppose at least he was supposed to be there at the time. If I showed up, he'd be like, "I'm sorry, what is happening right now?" But yeah, it was. Yeah, that was not
That moment when you wake up, though, when you're disorientated as well, like is pretty horrific. You know, when you just wake up and for a split second, you're either like half in the dream you're just having, or you're just like, where the fuck am I?
Yeah. I love how we're talking
it's a
about
great
this like I'm a survivor, but it was just some asshole pulling a prank on me. But it is, isn't it? Because you wake up, it's always the way, and you know, like when your alarm goes off and it's too early, and you're like, no, it's not a good time. And there's a reason that I'm not like I'm a paranoid person with my katana. It was not long after that I did actually become an ordained minister and learn the exorcism ritual by heart. So, I'm prepared just in case anything happens.
You could absolutely fuck up a Toby.
I was a very big Supernatural fan as well, which obviously helped. So,
Yeah.
If anyone wants any weddings or funerals, hit me up.
One of
This
these.
is great. I'm gonna put this in the dossier if we ever have to have like a Monster Squad style team up to fight supernatural forces. Georgie, you're going to be one of the first people we bring the battle van round to collect.
Katana and
Guys?
What else? What would be the Bible?
Oh, I probably a katana on my back, a la Attack on Titan, and I would go for a rifle. I'm a very good shot, so load that bitch up with salt. Mika would not stand a chance. You watch. Nuh-uh.
Mika, you're dead.
Get it,
bitch.
Thumped.
Thumpered. Yeah.
Oh.
So obviously that happens.
She stands in the bed, and then she chips off outside and sits in one of those. Always wanted one of those sort of swinging chairs that you can get outside.
Like the porch, swingy porch chair, right? Yeah.
Love to have a glass of lemonade in one of those.
But
she's not having. She's not
watching
having a lemonade.
your really bins. Yeah.
She's not having that. She's having a sleep paralysis time out there, and then we kind of cut to the Mika cam, and he goes outside and goes, "What are you sleeping out there for?" And she goes,
his first. Sorry, Andy, but he always goes for the camera before anything else, and I feel like I don't know if you do that I know obviously because film, but like especially a moment like that, I feel like I want to find out what's happening before I care about the camera.
No, my fella would 100% get the camera first. Like categorically, yes. I know he would. I know he would.
I think you could pull it. You could pull it off now. In 2006, you have to suspend disbelief a little bit more because he has to go and pick up a camera. Now everyone has. It's depressing, isn't it? Better cameras that existed in that movie just on your phone. Oh no, Luke's been sent to the ghost dimension now.
Oh no.
Toby set up his LAN around there. Now naturally, if you wake up, you would grab your phone, almost instinctively to see what the time is, because it's also your watch and your torch and your video camera. So it might be reasonable that you go downstairs with it. Back in the day, of course, we have to believe he went up and picked up his camera and goes outside. With his gets his tripod and his Steadicam belt that he's carrying it with.
His gimbal, he's on the way.
He's on like a track. so he's
got
gone.
LED panel lights with him as well.
Yeah. So he's gone down. He goes, "What are we doing, sleeping in the porch chair?" And she says something nonsensical. So he goes up to get her a blanket. But and again, technology age right now. Good job we knew it was 2006. He goes upstairs and Toby has only whacked on the massive TV, like the massive, like a TV that's as deep as it is wide.
Yeah,
Jesus.
The monolith. Yeah,
that's pretty terrifying as well. The monolith,
and you can see what the era is because there's the static on the TV.
Yeah,
remember that?
No, just a black screen little thing saying.
Remember when you used to be able to feel the static on the TV as well, didn't you? Feel it and then go and give someone an electric shock.
They were probably so bad for us, those TVs, bearing in mind you could feel the energy radiating off them with your hands.
Yeah.
When our parents and grandparents told us they would give you square eyes, it's probably actually far worse than what it was actually doing. They're far not as bad.
Square eyes.
So he does that, and then Kate does come back up to bed, and then in the morning he shows her back the video. I guess this has been the most extreme.
This is the equivalent
we've had so much time.
Sorry, Andy. This is the equivalent of somebody showing you a video of you absolutely pissed at your tree the night before. Look at the stuff you were doing. Look at the stuff you were saying. Can't believe it. And you go, I don't want to see that. I never want to see that. Not behavior I would be involved in these days, obviously.
Of course.
Very embarrassing. She's like, oh God, I don't remember any of that. I don't remember that.
And he's already done the bit where Mika's done his one-man podcast as well, right? When he's gone around the house with his microphone, gone, anything you want to say in English this time, dickhead?
Yeah.
And then he notices when he records it back the next day, and it's really subtle. Like he's gone, do you want to talk with the Ouija board? And then when he plays it back the next day, there's basically
it's Jonathan Davis from Korn who replies to it.
He goes, and he's do you want to say something with the Ouija board?
No, that's what's his name?
That's down with the sickness.
You're mixing up your new metal.
That's what he spelled on the... No wonder we couldn't decipher it.
Yeah.
Scatman. So it's either the guy from Disturbed, the guy from Korn, or Scatman John, who's managed to capture on the on the video. And he even goes so far as when one of Kate's friends comes round. I'm not sure who this actress is credited as, if she also is the same name in the film as in real life, but she has come round for what Mika describes as bead time. And they have a 2006 hobby of doing some beads,
making little friendship bracelets.
Doing beads.
I'm glad a demon's possessing this house and you. You deserve it.
That's why it's doing it. I hate beads.
Beads and shit, yeah.
I hate beads.
When I was in hell, I just really couldn't pursue my passion for haberdashery.
So now no one can. Yeah.
That word's never been uttered on this podcast.
To bead.
Or not to bead.
Also, when Katie is studying at one point, she's definitely reading like one of those Something for Dummies books.
And it's upside down. Did you notice that?
No, is it? It's gone right. She's studying. What could she be reading?
That's because she's not stupid, Luke. Because it's a book for dummies, she's made it harder by reading it upside down.
Yeah. Turning your eyeballs upside down.
Smart.
Yeah. So after this is when they do the talcum powder thing. Is it talcum powder?
Yeah.
Is it
like
baby
flour
powder?
or some? It's some kind of powder.
He puts his talcum powder around everywhere, but only after he's had to record the "I, Mika, promise not to fuck about with the camera anymore." literally because I suck the most, and I'm going to follow all of Kate's rules on not being a dickhead and not antagonizing the ghost before he continues to antagonize the ghost, where he does a video before the baby powder where he goes, if you're a ghost and you suck off the devil, don't say anything right now. Well, tells the story.
Tells the story. Toby's like, right, that's it. So, where did you get the baby powder from? Because did they go out and buy it especially? Because they're just two
we've got talcum powder.
adults without kids. You got talcum powder?
Yeah, we don't use it very often, but it's nice to have if you
need to see if any footprints appear in the house overnight.
Exactly. Yeah,
that's true, and they always do.
Some people have katanas. I've got talcum powder.
I know, there's me laughing. Like, I didn't just tell you I have a katana next to my bed. Like, I have no right to judge.
Luke does a good... So basically, like, your thing, Georgie, I guess, is if you get attacked in the night, that you'll be able to attack back, whereas Luke's is evade and escape. You'll be able to go, like...
Yeah.
And then disappear.
I thought you meant I could shoot it with the powder. It would, reveal itself.
Yeah. So that's Luke's worried about Invisiblemans.
Invisiblemans, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know I'm worried that there may be an invisible man or nun.
What are you? The boogeyman. Sorry, it's my favorite Simpsons bit.
I'd use the talcum powder for if the demon had a slightly damp bottom, and I'd be like, I'm just helping you out, mate. Just helping you out. Don't worry about it.
In the hopes of befriending him.
Just going around the house shooting clouds of talcum powder, packing bottoms that might or might not be there.
Get one of those.
What are you doing down there? Leave me alone.
Get one of those talcum powder bottles that's squeezy. So it basically does like a big. You squeeze it, it does a massive wheeze. It like a concussion rifle from Star Wars.
Yeah.
There's a big wheeze, and then just floods the room with talc.
Yeah.
Jesus. So they do that. Put the talcum powder down, leave the door wide open again when they get to bed. What they got to this time. And then they wake up.
And immediately get straight to sleep again. It's like,
well,
no one struggles to get to sleep. They're like, well, hope we don't get haunted and kept up all night again.
Night.
Yeah.
As soon as the lights go out.
Head hits the pillow sort of style, isn't it? So doesn't Katie wake up because she kind of feels something or sees something? She's like, oh, there's something there. And another thing, they never switch the lights on immediately, do they? There's always
all the times they go downstairs in this movie to investigate, and you live in a house on your own, guys. You're allowed to put the lights on.
Yeah, exactly. You're not going to wake anybody up.
The air raid warden's not going to come round.
tape across the windows. Yeah, you're fine. Oh
wow. And when they wake up and put the lights on, they see some little tiny footprints.
It's like a Tom and Jerry trail up to the loft.
What is it? Is it like a free-toed sort of odd?
Yeah.
It's like a hoof kind of thing, isn't it?
Oh, I thought it was like a tiny velociraptor foot.
Oh, that's way cute.
Or like a bird foot, like a free-toed thing. I don't know.
I'm gonna Google it and then not sleep tonight. You watch.
I imagine that Toby, in my mind, he looks like an invisible Baron of Hell from old school Doom, like a big goatee man with
goatee man,
like a goatee man with Mr. Tumnus legs.
I'm picturing Mr. Tumnus pretty much exactly.
Yeah, it is like a little lizardy foot type thing. Hello, you can see yourself. See?
Oh yeah,
it
is like a little gecko.
Yeah.
Little gecko boy.
Yeah.
Like Leslie Phillips voice Gex.
That is pretty scary though, because at this moment, if you're thinking it's like a humanoid thing, it's like, okay, still terrifying, but I kind of know what I'm dealing with here, It's But when it's that, you're like, oh shit, that is too much.
That's not my foot. Yeah.
That's not my foot. Jesus Christ.
And he's made a trail of little powdery footprints up to the loft. Yeah. And they kind of say, oh, it's a trap. He's going to be waiting up there with a big mallet. And he's going to bonk us on the head.
This is pretty tense, though. I think, because it's one of those things where you're just looking into all the little corners of the attic where you're like, well, is something going to jump out at me? But that's the thing. You've become so accustomed to these movies that you just are anticipating those jump scares. And this film doesn't give you many, which is quite nice, I think.
Yeah.
I think it only gives
When
you
it-
the one jump scare, and that wasn't even in the original movie that Oren Peli made. It's
Yeah.
right at the end, right? That's the
I-
house.
Yeah, I'd
Extra.
argue the big loud noise was a jump scare, but I am like
Okay.
a tiny little baby animal, and anything loud scares me. So, but I think the big jump scare is the end, isn't it? I think in the
Yeah.
When Mika
so-
finally gets his wish and does get tossed off, but not in the way he's been angling for all this time.
good. Yeah.
So when he climbs up into the attic, he doesn't find a little Toby demon just chilling up there. He finds a photo which is all burnt around the edges, and when he brings it down to show Katie, she's like, "This is a photo of me that couldn't conceivably exist
Because her house got burned down when she was a
Yeah.
kid, right?
Conceivable.
This is inconceivable that it should exist."
Conceivable. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's pretty crazy. She said I haven't seen it in like 15 years. She thought it was destroyed in a house fire. What's going on? What is going on? So they get the old dude back. What's his name? Dr. Friedrichs, who was pretty useless first time round, unfortunately. And he's
Gave
even
him a
more
number.
useless.
It's not his fault that the actual demon guy's at a conference.
Yeah, but
Where's the demon guy?
he's like saying it's not my expertise, but I mean, he must know more about demons than the average Joe.
Yeah, he's got to know at least he knows what he doesn't know.
And if it's
Yeah,
not
exactly,
his
yeah.
expertise, why even go there?
Not my
You know,
job, mate.
If
I do ghosts.
I need
not
I
demons.
need a plumber immediately. Well, I'm an electrician. I'll come round. Gets
Yeah.
there and goes, "This
You're going
ain't
to make
too
it
much
worse,
for me."
sir. Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, I am
Yeah,
going to have to give you
yeah.
the call out charge because I have come here to tell you that.
Oh,
I
that's
can't
what it
do
was,
anything
That sounds
on it.
about right. Yeah.
Yeah. Classic priests.
But when he gets there, he basically says, "Oh, I don't like it. There's a horrible presence in here. It wants me gone."
He's livid that I'm
Immediately.
here. In fact, you inviting me here has made things 10 times worse.
Yeah, it's like when you walk into a situation where somebody knows that you hate someone else. They've invited you both, not told either of the people that the other one's going to be there. Then you arrive and you're like, "Oh, really? What are they doing here?
No one's having a good time anymore.
We just want you to make up. I got no interest in it. I don't
That
like
was
them. They're
Toby.
toxic."
Yeah. Toby and the priest just sat in opposite corners, proper got a cob on, fuming at each other. Like, this is not.
He hasn't even taken the time to learn about demons. He is
Yeah.
talking about ghosts. They are so below me. Disrespectful.
Ugh, the
Yeah.
audacity.
So he leaves, and then it's the next night. I don't know why anyone's not. I mean, the footprints, if anything, that is the final straw for me.
Mika
my
is a
opinion.
crypto trading camera buying gazillionaire. Stay in a hotel.
Burn the house down. I don't. Yeah, you just leave. Go out of this place.
That's Toby's MO. You could blame it on him as well.
That is the plan,
Right,
though, isn't it?
yeah.
That is the plan, but then Katie says, I just want to stay in the bed now, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Katie
but
goes a bit.
that's-
She gets a bit wampy and sort of goes. She loses all of her
A bit
energy.
what?
Wampy.
What's that mean?
Yeah, it's not a real word. It's by context. You know, it is when you get a bit wampy.
A bit like, oh,
Saying it
yeah.
more isn't explaining what it means.
do I have to?
Yeah, it's just one
Right.
of those things that you would get the same as if I was to explain that you'd been chombled up. You'd either been eaten by a monster or crushed by a train. It's implicit. Yeah, she's gone a bit wampy.
Chomble.
So she's got no energy. She's lying about the place. She's lost all motivation to leave. Mika was a smarter guy. He'd think, I think you're slightly possessed. Now I'm gonna carry you out of the house. And go to a place where demons can't go. I feel like it would take a while to build up the energy to possess you at a hotel. Certainly can't drag you into your own attic from there. It's quite a way off.
Also, like, if you were somewhere like, well, I don't know, Disneyland, and there was a demon knocking about and following you, it'd be a lot less scary if you're in like the, I don't know, the Wild West hotel,
Yeah.
having a good laugh, and
I reckon so.
yeah, and then you go on Space Mountain the next day to just cleanse yourself of
Or
all
just
the-
just go to a disco or something. Do anything.
go to a disco.
I
go to a
feel a
discotheque.
lot of things. If you're dealing with demons and things that, I mean, Andy's actual dealing with demons corner here. I think the big thing for any ghostly apparitions is to really break the atmosphere. So,
Yeah.
you know, whack the Venga Boys on. Like,
Let's go.
get a petting zoo in. Like,
Well, you don't know if Toby, along with Beads, hates Venga Boys with a
Yeah.
passion.
Can you imagine? Oof.
maybe
when you
that's the opposite for him, though. If he maybe that's what keeps Toby awake at night. Maybe he sits there thinking, the Venga bus is coming. Just
But
thinking
when?
in hell, just
when? You'll hear it. You'll hear it.
Doesn't know when they're coming. They like to party. That's all he knows about them. These mysterious Venga Boys.
I think just get blind drunk so you sleep through all of the hauntings.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Just get blind drunk. It's the solution to everything. Sure.
Yeah.
Or just get like some holy relics and just walk around your house swinging them like this and say to Toby, like, if you get hit,
Google's free, guys. Like how to stop demon come in house, and you're fine. You'd be fine, like you said. Get your incense. Get the Venga Boys on your
try it all.
Sony Walkman.
If I've learned anything, well, it's not a ghost, is he? He's a demon. I was going to say you need to burn the bones. Someone burn the bones. But he's a demon, so how do you...
you have to know the name, like Valak.
Yeah.
So you have to say, you have to watch his YouTube channel when he's come on and said, right, it's your boy Tobes. Welcome to Ouija board burning.
Yeah.
I reckon just humiliate him until he leaves. Just like start taking a piss
You
out of his
silly
little 3 toes.
sausage.
3 toes. Hey,
There you go, free
Toby.
toes, yeah.
Toby 3 Toes back again.
He'd be like,
Toby with your
bloody
shit
hell.
face. Yeah.
He'd be like, oh bloody hell, see you later.
Get
I
back
noticed
in
you
the
made footprints in the
attic.
baby powder because you're a massive baby, but I'm not a baby. Oh, keeping a photo of the keepsake that you had from that burned down house.
Cringe.
Cringe. So that night is also the big scary moment as well. One of the
Big
scary
Town Showdown.
moments. Yeah, which is where Katie. What happens? So she's got her legs far too much out of the blankets at this point,
Yeah.
isn't it? Out of the sheets.
Yeah.
It's very, very dangerous. You got to do that thing where you tuck the blanket or duvet under your legs, creating a little
Pocket.
flap.
She should
A
have
little
increased
pocket,
the
a little pitter, yeah.
increase the
pitter.
tog factor on that blanket because they've got one of those hanky blankets. You need like a 15 tog, 15
hanky blanket.
15 tog, 15
It's
tog
San Diego
bonanza.
though. It's San Diego. Is it the summer? Is it the summer?
Yeah, it doesn't look too warm, does it? But it looks warm enough.
Put a fan
Really?
on.
I suppose one leg
Yeah.
out does always sort of
Yeah, that's
regulate
my-
your temperature, doesn't it?
Put the
My
leg
tactic.
out. Put the leg out that goes towards the middle of the bed, not off the edge.
Great point,
Exactly,
yeah.
this is it.
Well, no,
you
because
turn in, don't you?
wait, so put the leg out that's on the middle,
Oh,
on
yeah,
the
wait,
inner
how
side
would
of
you
the
do
bed.
that?
Because
Yeah, your
then
leg
the
would be. It'd have to go up and over the top of the blanket.
Up and over
And
the
then-
top of the blanket.
It would ruin it for the person next to you.
Nick's a
Irrelevant.
piece of shit. Ruin it for him.
Yeah, kick him out. Who gives a shit? Yeah, no.
See you later, Mika.
So she gets
yeah, so
bitten
she-
on the bottom, ish, right?
Well, I can't. I kind of. She gets on her back, is it? Or am I imagining?
Well,
No,
Oh.
she gets tugged off first, doesn't she? She
Yeah.
gets
Good lord. Yeah.
she gets slurped off out of the door.
Slept off out
Yes,
the door.
that's-
And so
Um,
Mika chases after, squares up to it.
You want to
So
go,
you,
dude?
you throw the first punch. It's going to be all self-defense, nice and legal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But his, I don't know, it was the bottom. Oh, it was around. It was on the body. She
Yeah.
gets bitten on the body. But the mouth, like there's tooth marks, but the mouth looks a bit strange. I think. it's-
Yeah, like little pin teeth, isn't it?
Like a
Yeah.
cookie cutter shark. Isn't that?
Yeah.
It's very needly. I'm going to Google the teeth again. Yeah, it's very like needly, like a little sucker.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so I think the next day is when Katie suddenly decides she wants to stay when she's all. What was the word
Yeah.
used? And
She's a
I
bit
think-
wampy.
I think
Bit wampy.
something's happened to her since being bit, where she, I kind of like that. I think I'm gonna stay.
it's like she's going, I'll just give up. This
Yeah.
haunting stuff's all too much for me. Whatever happens tonight, I'm possessed. Maybe she's already possessed
la
at this
vie.
point.
Yeah.
I
I, I
she's-
thought
she's
she
not
might be already a
totally-
little bit possessed.
Not totally
I think-
evil possessed, just like day possessed.
Yeah, I think the
Yeah.
implications there, isn't it, that like she's already possessed and that's what's making her want to stay in the house. So like Toby's going, you should probably stay, and she's kind of being, oh, we should stay, so Toby can get his way, right? I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's probably
She's
about
into
right, yeah.
Toby and his plans about now. I'm just looking to see
Yeah.
if we have an official picture of Toby.
I've seen there's some sort of shots.
I
I
did
think in some
see-
other films.
Toby top 10 scariest moments. I saw that. I did find
Toby's
that
top
somewhere.
10 scary moments.
Scariest moments.
Chosen by him?
Oh, it's Toby with an
Probably no,
Oh,
in
no,
Toby.
he's never going to come up on the. Oh, there he is. There he
Oh,
is.
I can just. Oh, hello. That's like an
Oh, yeah.
ultrasound.
yeah.
Ultrasound baby Tobes.
Baby Toby.
He is a baby.
Yeah, that's why he has that baby powder.
Baby
bar.
powder.
So yeah, he's bitten her on the bum. She's gone all possessed, and then we come to the final night
Yeah.
where
The final
again
night.
they've gone to bed again. It's like, well, it's been a weird day, I guess. Straight
There's
to
no
sleep.
telling some people, is there? Honestly.
Yeah, so they go to bed. Katie gets out of bed in a similar way that she did before. Doesn't she stare at Micah again for like ages? She comes right over to his side of the bed this time, doesn't she?
Mm.
And she's
Yeah.
looking right at him, going, "I hate you," and everything.
Just giving him,
you
just
stand
sitting there like
for."
that for like for 3
Yeah.
hours.
What's that? Oh yeah.
Stone
then-
Cold Steve Austin. If he'd woken up, she'd have dropped a stunner on him.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Broke him in half.
And then she goes downstairs, and then out of the blue, she just starts screaming. Micah immediately gets up and rushes downstairs. Doesn't go for the camera this time. Interesting tactic.
Yeah. We hear some kerfuffle, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's some kerfuffle downstairs. Yep. And I think you hear Micah sort of go, "Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like something terrible's happened to him." And then there's pure silence for like a bit, which is obviously when you're lulled into the moment where you're almost kind of leaning in, aren't you? You're kind of like leaning in, like going, "What's going to happen?" And we get a jump scare, which is Mika's body getting hurled or tossed at
Yeah.
the camera, knocking
this
it off
is
the tripod.
This is the cinema cut that we got, right?
The first time I
Yeah.
saw this, I saw the other cut, the other ending.
When she comes in with the blood on her and then.
She gets in, like, sits down or stands until morning, and then police
Yeah, I've seen that
arrive,
version.
and then we hear her go downstairs, and we hear her get shot. I think.
Oh yeah, there is one where she gets.
Yeah.
Is that the one that maybe doesn't allow for a sequel, right? Because she's gone
Because
down.
this
The
one's
police
like
have got her.
Katie's on the loose. Watch out, watchers.
Yeah, because
Okay,
in the cinema cut, I believe, like she throws Mika, he gets bashed into the camera, and then comes, and it's Ben's background there where she comes and has a look and does a little Jeepers Creepers wink at the camera, and then
Yeah.
does like a little snarly face. And it's
Freezes
like,
on the
oh,
wink.
she was a, and then she was a ghoulie all along.
Yeah.
Well, just now.
Just now.
All along just now.
And then I think
is there a
it
third
cuts
one?
to black, and then I think there's a third one. Isn't there something where like the police discover Mika's body? But
Well,
Katie's
that's
gone?
the one I remember. Oh, well, I seen it because there was the original ending that they made, and then Blumhouse bought it and said this needs to have something else happen at the end, and I think they added the jump scare bit. I don't know what the original ending was.
There were
There's
two other endings made.
Oh, go on. Have
Okay.
you got them?
I found them, I think. So the original ending is when Mika gets thrown at the camera. So she sits next to the bed, then her friend comes over, discovers the body, runs away. And then the next evening is when the two police officers come, find the bedroom where they see Katie with a knife. Then the attic door slams. That's when she gets shot. Actually, the original ending's when she gets shot. So the original
Okay.
ending is with the body throw and then she gets shot.
Okay, yeah.
The alternate ending, she closes the bedroom door and so the alternate ending is when she closes the bedroom door, approaches the camera, faces the camera, and kills herself in front of the camera.
Yeah,
I've not seen that one.
Slits her
No,
throat?
I've not seen that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I've not seen that one. Interesting. Yeah, but that's that. That is 3 different endings to the same film. All
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
All of them, I guess, as effective as the others. I wouldn't say any of them are
Yeah.
particularly.
Because
I
it
think,
doesn't necessarily have to loop in. It doesn't Katie turn up at the end of one of the others, possibly
Yeah.
She does, I think, doesn't she?
not the 80s one, maybe 2, where
Two,
it's the
I think.
sister, and then she
Okay.
snaps the husband's neck and robs the baby.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh dear.
That sounds about right. It's been a long time since I've seen him.
Sounds like her.
Yeah,
Sounds
classic
like
Katie.
Classic Katie.
Classic
Um,
Katie and Tobes.
Yeah. I've got some name game if you guys are up for a quick
Oh,
round.
So excited. Yes.
every time.
It's my
Don't
favorite.
don't get your hopes up. So the first one is after moving into a suburban home, a couple become increasingly disturbed by a 2012 American stop-motion animated dark fantasy comedy horror film.
Paranormal activity.
Paranormal Activity.
Nice.
This one, after moving into a suburban home, a couple become increasingly disturbed by the wife of Ozzy Osbourne just pottering about the house.
Paranormal activity.
Paranormal Activity. Yeah.
Normal activity. What are you doing over there, Sharon?
Sharon's normal activity. She's just having a great time.
doing a bead time.
Sharon!
And I've got here, after moving into a suburban home, a couple become increasingly disturbed by a terrible microwavable TV dinner that's also haunted. It's quite a meaty one, this one.
A microwave TV dinner.
Yeah, but it's bad. It's not a good TV dinner. And it's haunted.
And it's haunted.
Well, in that case.
Paranormal
snacktivity.
All right, that's close. That's close. Yeah.
Activity. Oh, I don't know.
It's quite difficult, this one. Paranormal crap TVT.
Crap TV.
Crap TVT.
Crap TVT.
Oh,
That's all I've got. I don't know if Andy's got any he wants to throw into
I can give you one off the top of the dome, Luke. In the 1990s, a well-known film critic and television host goes about his job of reviewing movies on sort of late evening.
Barry Norman.
Yes.
Activity.
Nice.
Barry Norman Activity, reviewing films.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's good.
I got one.
We've just spent an hour of Barry Norman Activity. Nice
Barry
work,
Norman
guys.
Activity. Mika and Katie are in a haunted house. They're trying to find out what the source of the hauntings is. Turns out it's a famous biscuit brand that's been causing all the trouble.
Gary
Baldy Activity.
terrible.
Biscuit brand, not biscuit type.
Brand.
Oh.
Paranormal McVitie.
McVitie.
Yes, exactly what you said.
Thank you. Oh my gosh.
Other biscuit brands are available.
Oh, cool.
Unless the good people at McVitie's, a Scottish brand near where I live, in fact, if you guys want to sponsor us, we will absolutely sing to the high heavens and the depths of Toby's hell himself about how good your biscuits are.
Are hobnobs
You gotta pay.
McVitie's?
What did you say? I'm not
there we
paid
go.
to know
All
so,
the
though,
good
so I
ones.
can only
All the
speculate.
good ones at McVitie's. I'm going to say don't sponsor us because if I have biscuits in the house, they're all getting demolished. And I've just found out how many calories are in biscuits. And it's disgusting.
Just ignore it. Just ignore
Mr.
it.
Tunnocks, though, your
read
tea
it.
cakes.
Ooh. Yeah.
There we go.
So we need to rate the movie. Rate good or rate bad? That's the
We're gonna rate
question.
bad.
You're going to rate bad?
No, I didn't say that. I
Ah,
said rate good or rate bad. Who
Oh,
knows?
okay. Sorry.
Should we,
Choice is yours.
Georgie, would you like to go first?
I'm gonna give it a solid. I don't know if I go for B plus or B minus or a B. I'm gonna give it a B something because I'm really sorry if you just heard him shout, "Let's go!" really loudly. Then
So happy about
He's
your
really
B+.
pleased that you're going
really
for a B.
excited about this.
He
killed-
knows
killed
you've
the cat boss.
exercised
Yeah.
you've exercised those fears of paranormal activity.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
this was a cleansing moment for me, my own exorcism. I'm gonna give it a solid B because I think it does hold up still to this day. My favorite kind of horror is where they don't show you the thing that you're supposed to be scared of. So I like that a lot of the scares happen off screen and it's lots of little bits. So I'm going to give it a B.
Nice.
Lovely.
Anyone else?
I'll go a little bit lower than that. I don't know if it's just because I've been, my enjoyment of found footage has been tarnished by years and years of similar sort of things. This almost feels like a really basic take on it. Well, I guess it is a basic take on it because it's something that sort of inspired a lot of other movies. So for that, I found myself a little bit bored at times, but maybe that's just
Mm.
because I've seen it a few times as well before. So I was well aware of what was going to happen at every turn. That being said, there were a couple of the scares that still got me, still made me jump a little bit. But I don't think I'd go any higher than a C. So I think I'm just going to go for a straight down a middle C.
Yeah,
Three
Fair
toes.
enough.
3 toes out of 5.
yeah.
3 lizard toes.
Gross.
I really like it. I mean, I really like these kind of films. I think I prefer skateboarding sick grind one because it's got a
Valid.
skateboard and sick grind in it.
Like Xbox Connect.
Yeah.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, Paranormal Activity.
I think it's great. I think I'll probably go with Georgie. It's I'd give it a solid. Do a solid B. B
I'll
for Bravo.
round it up somewhere in the middle. I am going to go for a B-. I think this is effective. I think you can applaud what the film guys did with so very, very little, like £10,000 or thereabouts, to make what I think is like the series. And the series maybe has limited mileage overall, but across every single one of the entries that I've seen, there is a standout moment of tension. And I think that's worth recognizing the film for it. In this example, it's a masterclass in building tension to, yes, it's one big thing at the end. But I'm there for the journey, guys. I'm there for the journey, and Mika had it coming, so B-.
Cool.
So that was
Hey,
right.
Mika.
Valid.
Yeah. So that's it. What are we doing next week? The next week is Fright Fest.
Next week is Glasgow Fright Fest. Yeah. A whole
Cool.
smorgasbord of activity. If you're listening to this right now, when you're listening to the episodes in order, you'll have already heard Ben's interview with one of the directors of one of the films from Fright Fest. A very good interview it was too, Ben.
Yes. Why, thank you.
That was a good Barry Norman activity you were doing there.
That's what I like to do. Replicate old Bazza.
Rest in
So
peace.
my interview with Lynn Davison, who directed Mandrake, that is out now. But Andy's interview as well with the director of Homebound will be out probably in the next couple of days as well, as we go towards Fright Fest, which is this weekend from the 10th to the 12th of March. And we'll be covering all of the films, as many as we see, on next week's episode.
All the films we get round to watching that we've been able to catch beforehand. We're going to bring, not reviews in the traditional way, because we'd be here for longer than normal, but we're going to be giving you little overviews of the films, things you might want to check out when they're available wherever you are. I think, guys, I want to talk to you about little awards that we should maybe come up with for the thing. I've definitely got an award for the best fuck you that I've heard shouted in any of the films.
Best
no
fuck
spoilers,
you.
though.
Yeah.
And
We'll
the
come
best
up-
villain for sure. We need to come up with some awards for it. If you've got any ideas for awards you would like us to give for the Fright Fest, let us know.
That's a good idea. Yeah, looking forward to it.
Cool. So thanks for listening. If you enjoyed it, you can become a patron over at patreon.com/horror hangout. Thanks to our current patrons: Lane Spencer, John Crinnan, Ben Scaife, Stephen Christopher, Toby Miller, Laura Kendrick, Ollie Child, Scott Rigby, and Pazuzu. Thanks to Kovac Cameron for our theme music. Thanks to Acast for hosting the show. Please consider rating and reviewing on iTunes. And thanks for my 3 co-hosts tonight for being Right Horror Dudes and Dudette. Yeah, cheers.
Thank you, Luke. Before we go, Georgie, where else can people find you? What you got cooking up?
Oh, I'm cooking always. No, I'm God, I'm not very interesting. I'm very active on Twitter though. If you want to see my Wordle scores and me complain about things, then I'm on Twitter at Georgie Broad. I write words about films as well for Jump Cut Online. I'm in some very good company there, so you can go check those guys out too if you really wanna.
Cool. And we'll link in the show notes as well.
Yeah,
Thanks,
we'll stick
folks.
everything in the show notes. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks
Been
for
a pleasure,
having me.
as always.
Yeah, you Turn up anytime.
I will. At
You
the
got
edge of your
Zoom-
bed
you
like
got-
this.
yeah, you've got the Zoom link now. Careful. We've
Katana
got
in
katanas.
Yeah, exactly right.
Turn up with
Katana in
Toad.
the other one.
I'll put a picture of the katana in the group chat after. Don't worry. I will.
Amazing.
Amazing. Well, sleep tight, guys. Maybe just like Mika and Kate, you'll fall straight to sleep.
Here's hoping.
Keep your feet in the blankets. Bye.
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 Right, and your buttons.